Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
BoxingVoice.com. No matter what nobody say, man. Spirit, can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know, I can't be fucked with, you know.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, your kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, you know, any footage of a fighter. I mean, because I'm Floyd Mayweather, everybody gotta watch me. I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar. I feel like he was straight up and down, no special effects.
BoxingVoice.com.
How can Canelo have the biggest deal? Your deal is for $300 million, and I made $350 million just in one fight. And you're fighting on an app.
BoxingVoice.com.
I'm a king, okay? I eat a feast. Every time I eat a feast. And when I get up from the table, I don't give a fuck who get the leftovers. At the end of the day, follow my green print.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
BoxingVoice.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another great Sunday evening, because we got some great boxing to talk. I know Mario's favorite fighter got an explosive knockout. One of my guys, I ain't going to say he's my favorite fighter, but definitely someone that I root for and I want to see win, like DJ Khaled. He got an explosive highlight reel, Sports Center. I mean, wherever the fucking hot shit is, Gabe is at right now. Shout out to Rosado.
How much money did you make?
I didn't make any money. You know,
10,000?
I didn't bet.
20,000? No, you didn't bet on your boy. You told us all he was gonna win.
Well, I do live in Florida, champ. I do live in Florida. It's a little more difficult.
Right. My bad.
A little more difficult, but shout out to the community, man. Everybody that made money off my pick.
Word, shout out to everybody, man. A lot of people made some for real dough on that. Somebody on Twitter had like a before 5 or before 6. I forgot what it was, but it was a parlay.
Somebody picked a knockout before the 6. Wow, that was brave.
Yeah, bro. On Rosado, like, that's the thing you got to understand. It wasn't, oh, wait, you know what? I'm tripping. It might have just been it before round 6, but they had a parlay going, so it was like a lot of money they made. But
yeah, man,
that was big time, bro. It was just good to see somebody, you know, since we started this show, Gabe's been TBV fam, you know, for life. He's a good dude, always gave us interviews, always, you know, he's just cool, man. He's cool. Enrique said it one time, he's just a cool dude. And it's good to see good things happen to cool people. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
But also, it's kind of like, yo,
I'm
starting to question these Uzbekistan prospects that my man's got cooking up in California, dog.
Is that everybody is like waiting for the next Triple G, man, and it's just not that easy. It's like us waiting for Floyd. And that's the thing. Like, Floyd only came once in a generation. Triple G or the next one, that's going to come once in a generation. As long as these dudes is waving a fucking Ukrainian flag or an Uzbekistan flag, they jump right on them and they start calling them the next monster. What rep it with the super chat?
Because they had so much success in amateurs. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
What rep it with the super chat sent me $20. He said, your share of the Gabe Rosado win, campeón. Campeón, you the campeón.
Damn, like that?
You the campeón. Yo, he made like 200 and something, bro. He put a $20 parlay on guess who?
Gabe.
On Gabe Rosado and the most electrifying welterweight in the freaking game.
Yo,
he got a nice win yesterday.
A straight entertainer. Yeah. He came out in the dopest WWF 90s era Macho Man Randy Savage jacket. Like, that was the before, you know, King Savage and before and after NWO Savage, you know, or vice versa, whatever. This man came out and then he leaves the ring with Shawn Michaels' theme song. dancing like Shawn Michaels.
Even
like,
his interviews are WWE.
Even, yes, his interviews are WWE. He came out to the Ric Flair, that boom, 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 boom. Yo, that shit had me hyped. But the Shawn Michaels thing, like, that was crazy. I mean, the lyrics to that thing, first of all, to have to want to either walk out the ring or exit the ring with that song, like, that's just crazy. It's literally, I'm not your sexy boy, just repeated over and over. It's fucking hilarious. That man is a born entertainer.
He is, man. And he fought, you know, we thought Blair was like flawed, and I'm not saying that he didn't show technical flaws and some holes, but I thought Brad Solomon would give him more trouble. I thought Brad Solomon was this slick boxer. My man has become one of the only two people in the history of boxing to knock out Brad Solomon. So shout out to my guys coming up big. But I mean, man, you always with the proper podcast etiquette. He waits till everyone's absolutely done with their sentence. What's going on, man? Talk to us.
Otherwise, you're not as rude as Ness, yeah.
Nah, man, I'm just trying to make sure everybody get their words in. You dig? A lot of great action to cover yesterday. A lot of surprises with the we was doing a live fight chat with the Rosado. Now you got to talk against him and Munguia, not Mario, Jaime, right? So
that's gonna be interesting, man. But let's take it from the top. What do we got on the
top?
On
we
the
got
notes,
the Charlo
we're going
fight
straight
first.
into
I'll put it at first.
Jermall Charlo. And this is the only card on this fight. Well, this is the only fight on this card that I've seen. I didn't see the undercard with Cruz, Gonzalez Cruz or whatever. But I guess I'll stir the pot right up. Whoa. Munguia knocked this dude out in what, 2, 4? And he knocked him out cold, like cold. They had to roll him over. Did y'all know that? Should I pull up the clip? Did y'all know that?
I did know that, yes.
Y'all acting like I lost service here.
Yeah, it was a second round knockout.
We seen him. He had it in the air. He had it in the air like Jersey girls back in the day.
Yeah.
Szeremeta had it tooted up, baby.
That was that face down. Yeah. We got you.
Mario,
we got you.
Yeah, man. It was a little strange. Now look, my good friend Boxing Sweet Science said it on his Instagram. We complain that we want knockouts. Then we complain when the fighter tries to get the knockout and doesn't get it. So, I guess we really need to learn what we're complaining about, because Charlo did go for the knockout. And he did hurt his hand. It could be seen on the thumbnail. It's really swollen. As you can see, the top box on the left, you can see the difference in his right and his left hand. And it's his right hand that is swollen, which is his moneymaker, right? It's the one that he would get the knockout with. So a lot of people, wondering why didn't he get the knockout? That's one of the reasons. Now, many people didn't care when Haney's hand was hurt. So I'm going to see, does the energy change now because it's Charlo? And is it like, yo, bro, his hand was hurt, bro? But when Haney fought Gamboa, it's like, oh, he can't punch. So just want to check the temperatures, see how things are.
Listen, I think for all fighters, man, for all fans, man, we got to stop getting it out of our heads that this other guy in the ring, just because we haven't heard of him, he's supposed to get knocked out. He's a man. He's a live body, and he came in there regardless of what they paid. He ain't going down unless they paid him generous. And I'm being funny, but truthfully, we can't keep saying what someone is supposed to do. Now, granted, we can insist on what we would like for our viewing pleasure. But Charlo, I'm not saying he hurt his hand trying to knock the man out, but this is what happened. I want to bring up Adonis Stevenson, because I think part of where he lost his luster is everybody wanted him to be the knockout puncher. Look what just happened to Elvis. Stop getting drunk off of knockout power. That's what makes knockout fighters special. That's what makes a Wilder special, guys. Stop fiending for knockouts. Everybody ain't got that pull, though. It don't work like that, man.
I'm saying, though, man,
you're right.
Anybody that's upset, I'm with you, because this dude got a draw with Centennial, was knocked out by Munguia. I see Charlo protectors talking about, oh, it was at a lower weight. Doesn't matter. You know, Charlo's
I don't
big
see what
Charlo.
that has to do with anything. But listen, what I'm saying is absolutely true. You know, Troy said it too the other day. Something about like, you know, fighters go through these moments where they develop, right? And it's like you might have like one or two things you do well, but it isn't until, you know, you really get quality experience in the ring that you're able to put it all together. Now, that's not really the case for a Jermall, and that's for me why it felt flat. In my opinion, Jermall is either right now or on the cusp of being one of the premier fighters, American fighters on the planet. He is very close to a big-time fight that I think he has a chance in. You know, he's one of the few people that I actually give a shot against Canelo and the Triple G's of the world. But you're not going to put yourself on that plateau unless you're knocking guys out, unless every time that you get the opportunity to grace the screen, because fighters don't have 164 games like MLB players. They don't get to play every week for 17, 18 weeks like NFL players. They have 1-2 opportunities at the highest level to showcase what they're able to do each and every time out. And falling flat on the Mayweather stuff, which I, you know, never was surprised that fight went like that, but because of those detractors that we're getting in the commercial market, it's these moments these guys have to step up like a tank who absolutely ran through his opponent. And now guess what? He's set up to fight a Hispanic fighter from Texas, you know, for another belt. And it's, you know, I'm not saying it's an easy fight. It's not. But it's definitely a winnable fight. It's definitely a fight that he can make history with. It's definitely a bigger stage, bigger platform. And that's what Jermall's fighting for every time out.
Shout out to you for bringing up Tank, bro. I watched his All Access. That was pretty sweet. As our good friend in Buffalo Falls would say, that was pretty sweet. They did a good job with the All Access, introducing his mother, introducing his brother, letting us know that his mom lost custody for leaving the kids at home. You know, just letting you into his life a little bit more. You know, shout out to Coach Calvin Ford, you know, helping move the story along, being kind of like a narrator and a mouthpiece throughout that episode, you know. So, yeah, man, happy you brought that up so that I could plug that because it was a good All Access. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited for the fight. I even plan on going now. I think I'm going. I'll find out this week. I might be in Fight Week Wednesday in Atlanta.
All right. Nice.
But going back to Charlo a bit, man. I think.
Well, real quick. I mean, let me just get this super chat off from MadBet100 in Kansas City, who says, "Dogboe win, no robbery." As Ness used to say, "Where's your scorecard?" Dogboe rounds 1, 4, 6, and 7. Sounds like he lost on your scorecard, champ. If it's not a win, it's a robbery. I mean, I don't know, but we ain't gonna jump the line. We gonna get the Dogboe. I actually watched that fight. Shout out to Blue Nose. But go ahead. I mean,
yo. So I'm just asking because when Charlo's coming in there now, I'm asking you guys. School me. Montiel was a mandatory.
No, he was next in line because everybody.
Yeah, he was the highest that he could have fought.
Everybody said no, so they kept going down the line till they got to the person that said yes, and his name is Montiel.
And they got Montiel, right? So I'm just saying, he was supposed to knock out Derevianchenko and Monty. He's supposed to knock everybody out, or is he supposed to just win and wait till he get that big fight? Because Triple G, forget about Canelo for a second. I want people to stop putting him in there against Canelo. Because nobody had any issue when Triple G would not move up and he hung around middleweight. And I said it most famously, you cannot be pound for pound if you're not moving the pound.
Sure.
Nobody had an issue with Triple G doing it. But now Charlo want to clean out the division and fight the guy that stood around trying to clean out the division. And we take umbrage with that as fans. I'm just kind of scratching my head.
See, but that's the thing. For me, I don't take umbrage with who he was in there with. Like, I never... Is it a fight that moved the needle for me? Of course not. Was I really looking forward to it? Of course not. But of course not, I don't blame Jermall. He wants, you know, he'll take the guy that is in Japan fighting. He doesn't care. He wants the best. I believe that. It's not that I'm pointing my finger and saying you did something bad or you did something wrong. To be honest with you, he showed a lot of grit in that. He bared down in that, and he tried to put this guy away multiple times and damn near came close in the 5th and 6th rounds. It's not the performance. It's the aftermath. It's the what exclamation point did you put on the night? Inoue, and we're not jumping the line, I'm just giving you an example, was built as the monster and delivered as a monster. And so that's the only point. It's not that I'm pointing the finger and trying to criticize. It's more of I wish Maul had gotten the knockout because I feel like it just inches him closer and closer to, a very, very
I just don't want us to move the goalpost because again, the goal is Triple G. It's not Canelo. Canelo is the bag fight. Canelo's the legacy fight. The goalpost, 160, cleaning out the division is Triple G. If Munguia wants to jump in the mix, Jaime that is, wants to jump in the mix, that's cool. But for me, I think the position should be clear, and I'm glad that he said it. I want Triple G. If anybody want to move down to fight me, that's the way he should approach it, and I think he should stand on that clearly.
Here's the problem, right? For me, before last night, there was nothing in my mind that thought that Jermall Charlo and the name Jaime Munguia belonged anywhere near each other in terms of level of competition. And I still don't. I think Jermall smokes him, but the idea, the narrative has gotten so much closer because after a night that Munguia produces, on a night that Maul produces, it's like now that fight seems like in fight fans like, oh, I want it. I mean, so many people on Twitter are like, oh, I would love to see Munguia Charlo. Oh, Charlo's right for the picking for Munguia. I'm like, what the fuck? Like y'all are basing y'all's opinion on the last 48 hours, not the entire career of these two men.
Nah.
But again, it's that moment.
Not even the last 48, because if we go based off both their last performances, Charlo still looked better than Munguia.
100%.
Munguia took shots from Szeremeta, and maybe you think Szeremeta's a better fighter than Montiel. That really doesn't matter because Montiel's at least the bigger puncher. And
it's debatable either way.
And Szeremeta landed so many punches on Jaime that you would have to assume the more talented Charlo would do. So it's still a good fight. What yesterday showed me is that Charlo is still the favorite in most of his fights, but it's not guaranteed. Juan Manuel Matisse put hands on him. His eye is shut. His hand is swollen badly. He doesn't have the power of Jaime or Triple G. That's why these fights have to be fought. Sometimes we think like, he's going to beat him. So many complained about Yeardom, but this is the difference. This is what I'm trying to tell you about levels. Like, Canelo ain't go in there with Yeardom and it ain't look like this. But I'll tell you what I did see yesterday. I seen Juan land the double left hook on Charlo. He brought it downstairs, brought it upstairs. Whose favorite move is that? Whose specialty is that? Whose fucking special power is that, man? Like, dude's asking for the payday. Do you really think you can win, or do you just want to win that Willy Wonka ticket? Because there's some stuff to work on. There's definitely some stuff to work on. That boo-boo fight.
That's the one I want. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you for saying that.
I know I talked a lot, but I'm telling you right now, based off yesterday, I guarantee you we don't get the boo-boo fight. Because they're sacrificing each other, and then one will get the Canelo fight. In their minds, in their management minds, in their advisors' minds, they're like, fuck it, if we keep them separate, they each got an opportunity because they each got a belt, they're each undefeated. We bring them together,
and they don't.
Bro, we don't even know. Based off yesterday, I don't even know if Charlo could beat Andre anymore.
And by the way, I don't want to turn this into a thing where we argue at all, but kind of shame on you, because it's like, that's the case, and I agree 100%, right? You have predicted, I think, the future, that fight doesn't happen. But then it's like, you're always like hyping these guys up, and then we have like on the other side, Inoue ready to fight the winner of Casimero and Donaire after what's happened and after what transpired. These guys are fighting the best fights they can get. And yet here we have Boo Boo and Charlo, a fight that makes so much sense for so many reasons that would produce the most legitimate contender to Canelo's crown. And yet that fight's probably not going to happen, and it's a fucking bummer, dude.
But Mario, one reason we can say, at least with the Charlos, and I can project this, they're not afraid to let their O's go.
Oh, not at all.
So that being said, I think other than feeling like a sense of readiness, which I don't sense that they have doubt in their character, but you know, that's the only reason why they wouldn't take the fight. They're not afraid. Like, again, the Canelo fight don't make sense right now. Clean out 160. And guess what? If Gabe Rosado is at 160 with his Continental, let's do it. If Boo Boo's at 160, let's do it. Again, Triple G, when somebody dig his old ass up and do whatever they want to do, let's do it. Once there's play. And it should be this much competition at 160, and it should look like each guy is beatable, because otherwise we'd be saying, well, now he got to move up and fight Canelo. So it should look like this.
Man, that's a good ass point.
What we should have saw yesterday, bro.
No, that's a good ass point. There's so much comp and so many good fighters in that division, from Golovkin to Charlo to Andre. You know, even Rayota's there still. You know, one of the best.
Yeah, but is he gonna get those? Is he gonna get those guys, Mario? I think that the best thing out of yesterday, and if Jermall, if you're listening, you know, don't get mad again like you did for the Trout fight. You got the win. And look at it this way: your vulnerability maybe gets you the fight, possibly.
That's what they used to say for Triple G. That was and listen, he shouldn't take that as a sign of disrespect. Like, the folklore of Triple G was so strong that even when he was getting hit, people were saying he's letting that guy hit him so that he can convince Cotto, Sergio Martinez, Canelo to get in the ring with him. Yeah. Like, that's how crazy that shit got. So for them to say that about Maul, that's not bad company.
And remember,
vulnerability definitely wins you with the ladies. You know what I'm saying? And in boxing, it may score you that bag.
And remember, Callum Smith got the fight after Ryder exposed him. So, you know, sometimes when you get undressed, you get the fight you want. It just doesn't mean you can win. Boston Jarrett Super Chat says, if Montiel was killing himself to make 147, it could have affected his punch resistance. However, Charlo punching is not the same off his back foot. What the hell would you mean killing himself to make 147?
I don't get it. Killing. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
He didn't even fight his last fight at 47. Why are we talking about that?
Yo, listen, the last thing I'm going to say about this is I was in Houston last night, not for the fight. I went to go watch the Astros play, and it was right next to the Toyota Center. So I got out a little before everybody else, so everybody's getting back to the hotel. A couple of the fighters, you know, of course, Ness has inspired me to start covering a little more. So, of course, I broke out the phone, see what I could get. Yo, I interviewed probably like a dozen girls, all like relatively young, between 22 to 25, somewhere around there, right? And it was so crazy how when I would ask them about the fight or whatever, they wouldn't talk about Maul like he was the heart dog. It was like Mel was like the cute one, and I'm like, they're twins. Like, I don't get it, but they were all very, very confident in their opinion that Mel was the hot one, and I'm like, yo, I can tell them difference now.
Well, because sex appeal is always is also character and personality. How you carry yourself, how you carry yourself can make you sexy. That's why some fat girls are sexy, because they wear sexy on them. It don't got to be they figure. But since we brought up Mel, Mel out here wilding, man. And you know, I know it's tongue in cheek. I know it's tongue in cheek, but this is why these dudes, this is why these dudes need like publicists, man. Because
publicity training,
bro. Yeah, publicity training, publicists. You know, pre-written statements. Like, listen, we know they're gonna ask you about Deontay Wilder. We want you to say this.
Why don't you give a little short explanation of what you're talking about for people that don't know?
So, Jermall Charlo must have been on PBC's Live when Deontay Wilder was being interviewed by Ray Flores, the announcer on PBC. and something happened. Wilder said something about race. Charlo was in the comment section, said there's no race in boxing. And Fred later interviewed Deontay Wilder. Wilder expressed how he felt about Jermall and said that he deserves to be smacked. So obviously someone interviewed Jermall and said, did you hear that, obviously Wilder said that you deserve to be smacked. And he said, man, I'm ready to go to jail. I'll smoke his ass. And
he said, I have men right now ready to go to jail.
Oh, he said, I have men?
He said, I have men right now ready to go to jail over that, man.
You sure, champ? Because I could have sworn he said, like I'm ready to go to jail right now. I said,
listen,
the first thing I said was like, really?
I'm like, what did I miss? And that was the thing that was everywhere. I didn't think you were going to want to talk about it. That's why I didn't put it in the notes. But I mean, I'm cool talking about it. Yo, he, and this is the second time he's done this.
And listen to me. Let me just tell you this.
Second time he's referenced gunplay when being interviewed about another fighter.
Let me just tell you how it is. Let me just tell you. Both men. Let me just say this. Both men have an arsenal of guns.
That's what I was going to ask.
I thought Mel both men
in the G-Wagon.
I just want y'all to know. I just want y'all to know.
Yo, you right. Dog, you right, dog.
Both men.
Yo, Amin always catches. Yo, Amin sharp as hell, dog.
Both men have an arsenal in their homes, okay? And I mean, Wilder, okay, for anyone who thinks shit's sweet, Wilder has a gun range, okay? He has 2 twin gold-plated Desert Eagles. Those are the little guns.
You call them Jermall and Jermall? I'm playing.
So I know we showed Jermall one day with something very big in his G5, like Mario said. But these guys need to they need to chill and understand that freedom is such a beautiful thing, and being able to provide for your family the way that they are, that doesn't happen many times in life. Like, are you gonna get another chance to beat Jermall Charlo, the superstar, Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber, if this gets out of hand? Because Jacobs and Jermall walked up on each other. However you perceive what happened, they seen each other. There was a confrontation. So to assume that Jermall and Wilder won't see each other, you would be making an ass out of yourself by assuming. To assume, if you're Jermall, and I know you don't need my advice, who am I with my little YouTube channel? But let me tell you, pick up the phone, call Billy, and ask Billy, should you walk up on Wilder? If your energy ain't on the same page, don't walk up on Wilder unless you walking up on Wilder to walk up on Wilder. I'm just saying. Ask Billy. So, these dudes ain't, neither one ought to be played with. Remember, boxing is an inner city sport. Then you give these men millions of dollars to buy all their heart's desire. You got to be careful, man. Got to be careful. Yeah. I want them to both keep boxing. I want Jermall to see undisputed, and, they need to just bury the hatchet. Jermall, who suffered a loss, I guess that's why another reason, too. Maybe he's looking at it like, motherfucker, I went through what you went through. They robbed me, and I ain't taking as bad as you. So he might feel like I am qualified to speak on this matter. Those fighters might feel like we not qualified, but
listen, I'm not qualified to speak on a beef between two Black American fighters about how race is involved in everyday life, but specifically that of boxing. At the same time, I think I'm wise enough to say that regardless of what the beef is, that talk, it leads to nowhere good, because even if it's, done in jest, I mean, how many Black men in America involved in entertainment do we see hemmed up, based off of lyrics, based off of, you don't want to give these people any room to even, have your name in their mouths as a question of some thing that didn't, doesn't even involve you, but to open that window to something else. And here's the other thing, if you were any kind of person with any kind of logic, how do you not respect the man more that does the job with his hands than he does with a gun. A gun is always going to be, to me, for self-defense. It's, the thing that you go to as a last resort.
But
the man with the hands beating dudes with his hands, owning dudes with his hands, like, that's the badass right there. Mike Tyson was the baddest man on the planet because he was beating the shit out of dudes. Actually, he was killing people with guns.
But champ, you got to come back down to earth. You got to understand that these are two boxers, and the one that is said what he said, he understands weight classes. He's a fighter. I'm sure if Wilder was his size, he wouldn't be talking about guns, but he understands weight classes. Like, come on, you can't say, bad men use their hand. Like, bruh, he's not Wilder's size. The best thing he could do is sneak Wilder. Then what? Then what? You know what I'm saying?
You fucking nuts, dog. I know that's pulled that trick on the park.
You
someday.
See Wilder and his back turned and shit. He all talking to Chris or doing an interview, and you come in and you just fucking give him your best. Yo, boom.
And ear hole him and shit.
What happens?
Man.
What happens if you don't sleep his ass?
If you don't sleep him, then you done.
What happens if you better hope you at least drop him so that you could be like, yeah, and start backpedaling up out of there. Yo, it's a lose-lose.
You know what they could do? Both of them could do? They could wake up, right? Or even at nighttime, go in the bedrooms, look at their kids, look over their balconies, look in their pool, go look in their garage with all them fucking cars and go sit down somewhere.
Word.
Man, you're a good man for saying that. You're good. Oh, by the way, happy Father's Day to both of y'all. Happy Father's Day to everybody.
Thank you.
Happy Father's Day to my dad, too.
We got my G-Bet bringing us back
like
to...
a good father, too.
We got my G-Bet bringing us back to reality. Says, Jermall destroys Boo Boo. Thumbs down emoji. 4 rounds max. He's horrible. He's a horrible fighter. Canelo voice. Jermall destroys Boo Boo. You're tripping.
You're horrible
tripping, man. After yesterday, you seriously tripping, man. What? Didn't Montiel have some of his best success from the southpaw stance?
He did. Fuck
is my G-Bet
Especially
watching?
When they were at a specific range.
What is my G-Bet watching? So you got to factor in, even if you think Boo Boo's wild, like I've been saying for years, you still got to factor in he's undefeated.
And you got to factor in the sense that awkwardness is exactly why Montiel was successful at times. Yeah. Like, it was his awkwardness. You know what I mean? So, that's a good-ass fight. I don't care what nobody say. That's a good-ass fight. And the one that could beat the other one is the one that I think has the best shot at beating Canelo, at everybody. Having the best shot at beating Canelo one day.
I just hope that the vulnerability that he showed gets him some fights and we get some things announced. Matt Bet 100 at Kansas City comes back and says, Ness can't add. Dogboe 1 through 4, 6
1
and
through
7.
4.
Yeah, he ain't had that hyphen there before.
Yeah, you said it was 1, 4. Yeah.
He ain't had that hyphen there.
I thought Dogboe won too. I didn't.
Word?
Yeah.
I thought he won. I had him up.
Oh, y'all tripping, man.
I smell a lot. I smell
that dude was getting hurt with every uppercut, man. No, every uppercut and straight right that was fully extended. Dogboe was on straight up Bambi legs.
Lopez got to do a better job of not getting hit. You can't just hit the other guy harder, and it's like, yo, we both hit each other, and then I hit you harder, but I'm gonna keep getting hit. Dogboe was hitting him
but
too.
His okay, so let's agree that they both was hitting each other, but one was landing more. Simple.
But at what point? Dogboe jumped out to a really early lead. Like he took a lot of the early
momentum. That's why you hear cats giving him 1 through 4, man.
Exactly, 1 through 4. At that point,
even if you give him 1 through 4, he ain't win the next 6.
Okay, but all he has to do is win 2.
Exactly.
That's it.
And do you find 2 for his ass?
I think that it was a very close fight.
And I'm not one of those giving 1 through 4 away. I don't know about that. I don't know.
Listen, I promise you're going to have a tougher time finding rounds for Blue Nose in 1 through 4 than you will Dogboe 5
Blue
through 10.
Nose walked his ass down in the whole last half of the fight where it matters.
But what did he do in those moments? You're absolutely right. He walked him down and he had his best work, but it wasn't. It was a close fight. That last round was back and forth.
Dogboe
and he still walked him down. Like
he came out here trying to get a knockout early and gassed, and y'all giving him respect for that.
Well, just so we can be clear, Dogboe did win a majority decision. It was 95-95 on one judge.
Man. Even Barry Hunter went and put his head like that on.
No, he did not. You ain't lying.
What, bruh? I'm not lying. I don't be lying. So
did you see that?
go watch that. He grabbed Lopez, put his head to head, and he said some shit to him. And go look at when he walked up to Buddy McGirt. Buddy McGirt face like, you serious?
You know what he told him? He said, yo, you gotta stop getting hit like that.
Hey,
he said, yo, you lost this one. No, that was a good ass fight. I'm a fan of Blue Nose. I would like to see it again.
Yeah. Blue Nose just gotta tighten up, man. He makes shit a war. Blue Nose does what Rosado used to do, like just make shit a war unnecessarily.
Yes. Yo, Blue Nose dropped the ball, man. First minute of the first round, I said, damn, he about to destroy little Dogboe. Dogboe looked too little. He was popping the jab, moving. And then the whole 2 minutes of that first round, Dogboe just took over on some He-Man shit. And, you know, Blue Nose needs to learn how to jab. Stop giving up his height. My man literally says, nah, oh shit, you coming to hit me? Hold on, let me get down and get to your level. Put my head in your range. Like, yo, he out here tripping hard.
So he's smothering his own punches. You know what I'm saying? And you know, somebody like Dogboe might outwork him when he mixed.
Nah, Dogboe can't outwork nobody with his 1 and 2 throwing punches. That's it. He's a big dude. He's a dude that loads up. So it's 1 to the body, maybe 1 upstairs. Like, my man, yo, I don't know. Cash App from Hawk in Maryland. TBV Ness. Happy Father's Day, fam. Happy Father's Day to you and to everybody who is a dad out there. But I mean tripping, man. Come on, man. Dogboe wasn't letting them hands go like Lopez. The only argument Dogboe fans have for me that I can't debate is Lopez work didn't look like he was punching you hard. You know what I'm saying? It was just a lot. It was just a lot of shit until them uppercuts start coming. Then it's like, boom. He was hurting them with them uppies for sure.
Yeah, I think. Listen, did you score the fight?
I didn't, man. I didn't think I was going to need to, man.
That's why I know I didn't either. But that's why you
Lopez
feel the way you feel because you saw a fight script play out the way that you did, and it's very accurate. You can say that. But remember, the reason people get in trouble when they come to scoring rounds and they think it's controversial is because they're not actually scoring the rounds. And when you go back and you look at how many definitive Dogboe rounds there were versus how many rounds could be considered, you know, for both guys, you know, I don't think you'd be as surprised that you could score for Dogboe.
Yo, poor Lopez, man. When he got that loss and, you know, he walked out the ring, no interview or nothing, and then it was like, damn, yo, I thought of Rosado. Even though Rosado shined that side, I said, damn.
Why?
Bro, because he's going down the same road, man. He keep getting to the mountaintops and failing. Like, he already had a title shot. If he would have won this, he was going to get another title shot. You know what I'm saying? So he on the cusp. He fought Oscar. I think he almost was, he almost talked himself into a fight with Shakur. He had a title shot. He be on TV. Like, yo, this kid is right there. He's like Gabe Rosado of his division.
Yeah, I would say he's like a poor man's Gabe Rosado because Gabe's win that turned it around for him was like a really defining moment for him. But I guess you could say the same thing for Blue Nose when he fought, what's his name?
I mean, it's still early for Blue Nose. You feel me? Gabe,
no, definitely.
Gabe got like 13 losses. It's still early.
No, you're right. But that's what it's saying. It's like he's at that point where he was in his career.
Shout out to Gabe, man. I'm praying that you get a title shot and you win because Orlando Salido had his 11 or 13 losses. And, you know, he didn't get his respect until he snatched someone's title, man, and became a champion with all them damn losses. Then he started defending them shits. He had his best wins after becoming champion, too, man. But we got Gil Lopez with a super chat that says, you think Charlo overlooked Montiel based on body? Based on whose body? Are you saying that Charlo's body looked bad or that he overlooked Montiel?
That at all.
Or he overlooked Montiel because of the way his body looked?
I didn't see that at all. To me, that does not hold water.
Nah, I don't think it had nothing to do with it. I think Montiel was game.
I don't think he overlooked him because I seen Charlo like loading up. He wanted to get this dude out of there in front of his hometown. It just ain't work out. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't work out. But do you guys got anything on that undercard? Like I said, I didn't watch it. So
go ahead. I mean.
No, I was going to say Mayor and
yes,
Argentinian shorty. I don't remember her name off top.
Wrong card, champ. I'm saying on the Showtime undercard. Did y'all?
Oh,
on the Showtime. I thought you were talking because we were talking about ESPN. Yeah, we could move on or move through it real quick. Did you have anything? I got a couple things.
The Angelo, which was the fight, the ugly one with the headbutt? That was the Isaac Gonzalez or something like that. It was an ugly ass fight.
And Vargas, yeah.
I ain't even see
with Francisco
Angelo
Vargas.
Leo.
Yeah.
I ain't see Angelo Leo, but damn, he looked like a fucking raccoon in the post fight.
Angelo Leo?
Yeah, his eyes was.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, him and Alameda. That was a tough one,
him and Alameda. Listen, that's the only thing I wanted to.
Speed bumps on his face, on his eyes. Them shits look.
Yeah. Listen, that's the only fight. That's the only fight I really wanted to talk about. Angelo Leo bounces back. He's 21-1 with 9 KOs now. And Aaron Alameda, he goes to 25-2. This is a really good division. This is a division right now that has the makings of some of the classics. It's super bantamweight. Yeah, that's what it is. Super bantamweight. With the Stefan Fultons of the world, the Brandon Figueroas, the Angelo Leos, Daniel Roman's in there. I think you could still put Akhmed Diliev, however you say that. He's up there with the IBF belt. I mean, they're just guys, and they're not afraid to let their O's go. These guys are fighting each other. What Angelo Leo showed yesterday is he still has a lot of growth to him that he but he's just so raw and he's so fun. And you match him with anyone in that division, he's going to produce a good fight. He's going to try. The judges ended up having it 98-92, 96-94, and 95-95. So, he earned the majority decision over Aaron. So, but that was a good fight. And, he connected on 85 body shots compared to 15 for Alameda. Like, Angelo Leo is there to win. He's there to break his opponent down, and he produces fun fights. Combined, they landed 402 punches. Like, it was a great fight. So, yeah.
So, moving on to Munguia's card.
Munguia. Yo, y'all didn't know that Munguia stopped people in corners all the time? Y'all didn't know that? You could count on 3 things: death, taxes, and Munguia stopping dudes in the corner, making them quit. My bad. Y'all knew I was gonna take it there anyway. But yeah, listen, Munguia comes up big.
The Munguia name is coming up strong in boxing, man. That Munguia.
A little bit. Ask Ness. I had to. Me and Jaime had to bring it back to life after what's his name used to go on ESPN and get knocked out every other month. Yo, you remember that dude?
Yeah. What was
Pablo,
his name?
Pablo
Munguia.
My man would get knocked out.
He was.
But he was tough as shit though.
He was ruining that Munguia name out here.
Yo, he was butchering it. But listen, Szeremeta, who is a late-minute replacement after tons of late-minute replacements, comes in, and Munguia does beat him to go to 37-0. He retained his WBO Intercontinental Middleweight title. And, Munguia had some things to say after the fight, calling out for a world title fight, or Gabe Rosado, who is another fighter that we're talking about.
Yo, how do you say I want a title shot or Gabe?
That's what he said on his own.
That's so strange.
He said it. He goes, I'll take a world title shot, or Gabe Rosado is a good fight too. Like, Gabe is a world title himself. He has the name, and he has the perceived risk-reward ratio that a fighter like Munguia would love. Really anybody, like even, throw his name in there for a Charlo. Like, it makes more sense now than it did, especially after the heels of the Jacob fight. So you got a guy like Rosado with a name who's been in major motion pictures and has been, not the face of boxing, but you could relatively say like the poor man's face of boxing, whatever. But he's represented very well by putting out these great fights. Munguia, on the other hand, listen, he won the fight, but Munguia is the telltale fighter in the sense that he is going to beat guys that are there to be beat. He fights to his level of opposition, better or worse. But at the end of the day, there is a very clear-cut blueprint on how to get Munguia a win. And Szeremeta was in there to do just that. He has to be a guy that can't crack Munguia's face in half, right? And he also has to be a guy that can't take too much of Munguia's onslaught for too long. And that's what we saw in there. A guy that was able to be hit, a guy that was willing to exchange 2 for 1. And Munguia just ended up getting the better of it, because despite all his flaws, which he still has quite a few, there are some things that he does well. And he does put out the punishment and take it at a very good ratio. You know what I mean? So, listen, it was a performance that he could hold his hat on. It's a performance that has seemed to fool a lot more people into believing that he might be a little better and might be ready for things that he's not. But that's the name of the game. You get your shot, you roll your dice, and guess what? Everybody has their one special night. Sports produces upsets all the time. All you got to do is get to that promised land, and last night was definitely a step in the right direction.
It was Szeremeta on 2 weeks' notice. I don't know how high I am on this performance. He's definitely not ready for a title shot, and that's why he didn't take his mandatory with Demetrius Andrade. Maybe they want to go the WBC route because they're Mexican, but I don't know. Maybe they gain confidence watching what Juan was able to do. But I seen a lot of flaws. I would still favor Andrade and Charlo to beat Munguia.
Heavily.
Munguia needs to work. I think the Rosado is a good fight. And I don't know that he can win that. You know what I mean? Rosado's been in with all types of punchers. You gotta be more than just a puncher to beat Rosado. You gotta be a puncher with skill. That's a tough fight for Munguia.
Look, Rosado, now that I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it, man, Rosado, if I'm Charlo, Rosado is the best opponent for me. That face, been in movies.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Common opponent with Daniel Jacobs. Like, yo, it's
history of being cut.
But he'll probably frown upon it because his brother beat Rosado like 10 years ago, man. Jermall beat Rosado so many years ago.
But look at the resurgence. Rosado's still hot. Rosado's hot right now.
I think it's a bigger win for Munguia than it would be for a Charlo, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, for Munguia, it's his career-defining win up till that moment. For Charlo, it's definitely not at the front of the line for him.
But if they
you're right, the momentum's there.
If they announce, you know what they're going to say? They're going to say who? Gabe Rosado? They're going to say the guy that bleed. Yeah, they're going to say, nah. Him and Jacobs. And then he just beat the guy on the,
one of the best prospects on the planet. Yeah.
Real credibility in what Rosado's been doing. It ain't like, you know what I'm saying? They dusting him off. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is not a fighter that they're dusting off because he has a name. This is a fighter that's been around and still making a name. Because if it's not Triple G, I mean, what more exciting kind of, attraction can you draw? Talk about bringing a fight to Miami. Everybody's going to Florida for the fights now. Gabe Rosado and the Puerto Ricans in Florida.
Yeah, I still like the Berlanga fight for Gabe. Berlanga tweeted out, telling Carl Moretti and his manager, like, yo, I'm ready. I promise you, give me the main event. He ain't say nothing about Gabe, and I don't know that anybody's going to be in a rush to put them in there with Gabe. Because, again, you got to be more than just a puncher to beat Gabe. You know what I mean? You got to have some skill. Because he could take a punch. And he's getting better. My man is like wine, getting better with time, man. We got a Cash App from Hawk in Maryland. It says, $2 Cash App. He says, Anderson Silva got one for the UFC. Chavez a straight bum.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Yeah, we're going to get to that for sure. There's a lot to talk about there. Not good, but...
46-year-old Anderson Silva.
We got another one from Ernesto, $5 Cash App, saving us that 30%.
What did he say?
Cut. Ernesto says, love from New Mexico. Champ! Well, shout out to you, Champ.
Hey, viva Mexico.
Yeah,
Nueva Mexico.
Nueva Mexico, that's right.
Sí, campeón.
So, on the undercard of Jaime Munguia was Gabe Rosado.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Gabe Rosado taking on Beck the Bully, Bektemir Melikuziev. What is his name? Bektemir... Beck.
Call him Beck, dog. Call him Beck.
Bektemir Melikuziev.
You embarrassing yourself, champ.
Bektemir.
Nah, you're doing better than I would be doing.
Yo,
Oh man,
he's dead.
You're a hater.
It doesn't
bro.
matter what's
Come
his
on.
name. It doesn't
Down,
matter
dog.
what's his name. He's dead. He'll never recover
Yo.
from this.
Yeah.
His publicist never fucking with
Out
you.
there looking like a Provodnikov. Mario, I said he out there looking like Provodnikov.
He was looking like a
yesterday with
cruiserweight.
the wide-ass looping punches.
Bro,
Bro,
his
but-
shoulders had him looking like Mario in the cruiserweight division.
Yo, but he was having success though early on, was he not? He was having early success. I really thought that Gabe was in for a rough night. I mean, that was too small a dose of what we saw to know whether he could take him out.
Mario,
But
you're a
listen,
hipster.
credit to Gabe. No, that's not it at all. I mean, go back and watch the fight. I'm telling you the truth. But at the end of the day, Gabe
Bruh.
he knew what he wanted to do. He set him up. He starched my man. He hit him so hard that he fell asleep, woke up, and thought that they were starting the fight again. Like, he
Look.
was just so out of it. My man was, what we said, I mean, he was face down, ass up, done.
Bruh.
Done.
Look,
Me
and
and
his
I
name
mean
is
was do. Go ahead.
Bektemir Melikuziev.
I don't know about that. Ain't no S
Why-
there, but
why
you
you making
tried.
us look bad?
You
No.
tried.
Yo, come on, yo. I got the
Melikuziev,
phonetics.
that look like it. You got the phonetics for real. I think you nailed it. Melikuziev.
Melikuziev.
I think you nailed it, bro.
I don't know
You-
about Melikuziev.
But what'd y'all think? I mean, like, you know, I mean, Gabe,
I guess Melikuziev. Yeah, I guess.
I think it looked right.
You the man, champ. You got it.
Call
Yeah,
him
but he
I
Go
mean,
face down. Homie was face down, man.
bad, dog, bad. He listen, Rosado went down in round 1 and then
Took a knee.
Hey yo,
He took
I
a
didn't
knee,
even think
yeah.
that was a real knockdown. I was tight at first. Then they showed the replay. He landed right on the neck, man.
Right on the neck, dog. That was a hard shot. Listen, this kid can crack. Beck can crack. There's no doubt about it. Gabe's win, and you know, I was giving some of the guys shit, you know, in terms of like everybody that was building back up, you know, and I was probably part of that a little bit. But that's not to say that Beck doesn't have a bright career. Rosado went out and beat that man,
I
and
don't know.
that
His
should
lights
be a
out, man.
win
How
that
bright?
he holds. I mean, I'll just listen. It's a win that he should hold dearly because he did what. I mean, very few people do. You know, that doesn't happen more often. More oftentimes than not, the big prospect, you know, in boxing that has a hype machine around him, that's building him and putting out all this propaganda, you know, that's the guy that wins, whether he wins or not. You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
That's the guy that, you know, gets a judge to give him the fight when he fought Mayweather and clearly lost the fight. Like, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. And what happened was Gabe said, fuck that. I'm not letting this thing go into the hands of the judges. I'm not going to let them take my 8-4 victory away or whatever it would have been.
Nah.
You know, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to... He starched this dude. Hit him with the cleanest punch. You know what that punch looked like? It looked like a knife slicing through like a brand new cake. It was just so pretty and fulfilling, and it was great, man. It was like pimple popper shit that people watch. It was just satisfying.
You wrong in both parts. So
Okay, tell me.
So I feel like he wasn't looking for the knockout. That's why it came. It was just a perfectly placed punch. You know, it wasn't like, I don't want them to rob me. And as far as the punch and how it landed, I don't know what you used as your reference or metaphor, but nah, it was exactly like when you landed on Show Kid and that tooth flew out.
That's flying.
That tooth was in the air, like, yo, but nah. Honestly, I don't think he was looking for the knockout. My man just got the right shot, and Beck was coming in. It was like one force meeting another.
Timing.
He went right into that, trying to throw that dumbass left. I'm telling you, me and I mean was doing a live fight chat. I said, bro, this dude, I didn't think Rosado could do it because Rosado threw the first right, and it was light. I'm like, oh man, this dude's scared to let go. I told Dami, I said, yo, he's throwing it right, but he's so worried about defense that he's not extending. He's bringing it right back, bro. But he eventually got not afraid and let that shit go. Full extension. And it wasn't even full. Really, he caught him right there because Beck He ran into that shit, man. Yo,
that's the one counter I have for
Rosado.
you, though, Ness, because Amin said it too. It's hard for me to believe that a guy that's been fighting as long as Gabe Rosado at some point in his mind didn't see those wide shots he was throwing and the abandonment that he gave to his defense when he was on offense. It's hard for me to see Gabe Rosado seeing that happen and not think to himself, I can catch him.
Yeah,
I can time that well. You know what I'm saying? You're right. He wasn't headhunting, and that's agree. I'm sorry, I probably made it seem like I was saying he was headhunting. I just think that he knew it was there to be found.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess with the words you use, you just made it seem like he went into this fight wanting a knockout because he didn't want to be robbed because of his story. And while all that could be true, I think that the knockout didn't come for those reasons. It came because it was like just a perfect punch at the right time with Beck coming right into that fist, bro. He helped him. He helped him, man. He helped him. It was a great fight, a perfect moment for Rosado. I can't wait to see what he turns this into, man. You know, Canelo, you owe Rosado since 54. Let's give him a shot.
Bro, you want him to get Rosado? You want him to give Rosado a shot with everybody in line? Come on, big dog.
Mexico versus Puerto Rico. Oh man,
Munguia versus Rosado. That's a good fight. Come on,
it is,
and that's a fight that Gabe deserves. Because let's be honest, Canelo, that doesn't happen last night. You know what I'm saying? He gave it his best shot. But Munguia, he could beat him. Munguia.
Yo, last night
like 8 to 10.
Last night,
don't worry,
Gabe
they gonna spot him 5.
Last night, Gabe proved you can never count him out. He got to punch his chance. So Canelo could get wide. He could get wide with his left hook. Nah, I'm fucking with you.
Okay, but I'll tell you. I think last night proved more so that experience in boxing is always going to be worth more than people give it credit to, especially when fighting one of these hot prospects. You know, Elvis, like you can go down the line. We've seen it more and more recently. I said, like, it doesn't happen as often, and it doesn't happen as often. The favorite usually wins. That's why the house usually wins. But in this case, like over the last couple of years, we've seen these, types of fighters with this hype machine propaganda built by, got a lot of guys like me, and they turn out to be not what. And it's not because they're not great fighters. It's not because they're not talented. It's because experience in boxing goes a much longer way than people realize.
Listen, I see people excited for like Gabe Rosado versus Charlo, but no, again, one Charlo already beat Gabe. That's not the style for Gabe. Gabe is the boxer, so he can't beat the boxers that are superior to him. Even though he should have got the win with Jacobs. But that's not the style that suits him. He needs the Beck style, the bully style. And so does Charlo. That's why Juan Montiel had success, because he gave him the Mexican style. Gabe and Charlo doesn't make a good fight. We've seen that. We've seen Mel do it. It's better for Gabe and Munguia, or Munguia and Charlo. Even Gabe and Rosado doesn't work because it's two boxers. Gabe is going to try to get on the job, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
But a lot of people seem to want it for some reason. I'm seeing Gabe, I'm seeing Twitter. I'm seeing the chat. I'm seeing Gabe a lot of people wanting that. No. Gabe Charlo. I'm sorry.
I mean, listen, I don't know why. His brother beat him. It's going to look crazy, but I know this is a different version of Gabe, and it'll be a big fight for him, Listen,
but what are we thinking about that Triple G fight? Do we ever think Triple G is going to say a word to Charlo and that fight's going to happen, or that's
I don't know, man. I don't think it's wishing on a star. I wouldn't go that far, but I don't know. It's like at this point, I would have thought Triple G would have fought him by now, or I would have thought they would have fought each other by now. It came close so many different times, and I don't know.
Triple G's gonna fight Ryota Maroda, who's mad winnable. Like he's hittable.
I mean, it's a tough fight. It's not.
It's a
mad
tough fight.
winnable.
It's a tough fight for people not on Triple G's level. Triple G has a great punch. Look at what Rob Brandt was able to do.
Sure, But at the same time, you're talking about a Triple G that's a little older. You're talking about those type of things, and those factors go in on it. Let me tell you right now.
But Marotta isn't Derevyanchenko that punches in combinations. He's just a big puncher that telegraphs the right hand.
He's a big puncher that also possesses some pretty high, level ability in there in terms of, adapting, reacting. Like he's not the whole package, but he's definitely a good package. But I'll tell you this right now: a fight between Triple G and Ryota, and a fight between Andrade and Charlo, and those winners produce the best middleweight in the world by far. Hands down, and that's what I want to see. I would, it doesn't have to be like some official mini tournament, but those fights can happen. And then the most logical fight after that, is the winners. And listen, there is a lot of people right now. It's not getting like super reported on, but there are a lot of people that are pressing hard to get Andrade as a mandatory. And get that unification done. Like there are a lot of people that are going to try to get that.
A lot of people, which means Chris Mannix, who had a phone call.
Not just Chris Mannix. No, that's one of a handful of people that are being reported. Listen, it's Sergio Mora, Mannix, and me. No,
all right, and that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. You and the handful of people need to understand. Unifications can't be mandated. That was so hilarious.
Well,
listen, I would love to live in your world. Wake me up when y'all make it a reality, though. Till then, it's nothing.
Well, can we wake you up to help call for that and help use your power in the sport and your voice that rings so loud to be one of those people champion for the fight?
I mean, you did call a Rosado. So I believe if you say it,
the issue.
My man been having genie wishes this whole time, and he don't know about it.
The issue is
the next thing you say.
The issue is with that is that it's politics, man. Like, these sanctioning bodies don't even recognize each other or one another.
Right.
As rankable. Like once you become a champion in the WBC, WBA is like, yo, we done what I mean. And it's like, how is Mauricio gonna mandate another champion when he doesn't even recognize him? He doesn't even.
So at that point, is it fair for us to ask the fighters to say, listen, I mean, with compensation, of course, if it can be made that way, drop the belt, make the fight. The money's there. If it's one belt, I mean, do we understand that there's more value in if a guy dropped the belt and made the fight and they only won one belt and some other guy picked up this belt in a fucking vacant?
Can't drop the belt. You can't drop the belt. You're defeating the purpose. The purpose is to become unified. Can't drop the belt. You gotta do more. See, Andre don't want to listen. Where's he at? Ever since
what is that
Horrible
belt?
Fighter,
He got a belt.
What do you mean?
Got a belt,
what do you mean? What I mean? Why wasn't
you told him to run up? He did exactly what you said,
bro. He wasn't at the fight. He does this all the time, bro. He gets hot and then he gets cold. Then he gets hot.
Yeah, he should have been
at
this shit.
Cold. Like,
y'all right.
He's got to keep the trajectory like this. It's like, like Shannon Briggs made Let's Go Champ a thing. He got the people behind him because it was always happening. Like Andre waited for Canelo to fight. He's like, I want the big fight. I want my payday, right? Then it didn't work out for him, so now he's gone. He's in hiding again. No interviews, no quotes, nothing. I will say this. He did tweet out a picture of an overweight Mexican holding a WBO belt. And he's like, hey, y'all, don't forget to tune into 1 Month 12 and G's. I should pull it up because he's hilarious with that shit. He trolled Charlo like that was his opponent. He's like, don't forget to tune in. They gonna fight or whatever. But that's only for Twitter. That don't do it. You know what I mean? You need more than that.
You're absolutely right, man. And listen, if he couldn't afford to get out to Houston, he should have caught a fucking Spirit flight out to El Paso for like $107 and had his ass out
He could afford it, man.
Yo. You're right, dog.
Ring
He
or
could afford
Jaime
it.
Munguia somewhere, like, and then
Right.
and then get a fucking rental car and then go to Houston and then jump in the ring over there.
He could afford it, and let me tell you, it's his fault. He could have been at the DAZN fight. He could have been on the telecast. He could have done an interview like, yo,
I just don't see why he wasn't, man.
This dude was my mandatory, and he decided to avoid me. That's why I fought Liam, which, by the way, I'm not even sure Jaime can beat. They need to get him Liam as his next fight if he can't get Rosado, because Rosado might beat him.
Yeah,
Let me
that's
get to the
a
super
good
chat.
Liam
point.
new life.
Word.
Super chat
Listen,
from,
I'll say this.
Let me get this super chat.
Go
Dana
ahead, go ahead.
Jones says Montiel trained to survive 12 rounds in camp, not to win.
Listen, I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, he trained hard, but he was not as good as Jermall. It's plain and simple. Like, he couldn't beat him even on his best night. He trained hard and he was able to survive. I wouldn't say he trained to achieve what he ended up achieving, which is, surviving. But listen, the only point I want to make real quick is because you had said about, unifications not being able to be mandatory. And obviously I know that, but the thing is this. When you look at what Mel has been able to create in his fight with Brian Castano, listen, Brian Castano does not move the needle. He has no, commercial appeal at this point. Casual fans don't know who he is. But guess what? An undisputed fight is what's moving the needle. How many people would be excited if Brian Castano, wasn't undisputed? If it was for, 2 belts or whatever, even if it wasn't a unified, like, all I'm saying is that the fact that it's going to produce the undisputed champion in that division raises it to a level that other fights could not achieve in almost any other type of manner without some serious beef. So again, it's like, you want the stats, you want the the news, you want the inches on the page. You gotta keep continuing to fight these champions.
Yeah.
Andre should have been at the fight, either the Charlo fight or the Munguia fight. And this is what I'm saying. He says, yo, get behind me. That's how we gonna get it. Get behind yourself. Why wasn't you there to have, Sergio Mora and this other guy asking you questions, or, asking Jaime, like, right. Andre is here. Why didn't you take your mandatory? Are you willing to take your mandatory shot now? Do you want your title shot versus this champion? Like, yo, if you don't clown these dudes and shame these dudes, listen, what did Mayweather say? Oh, don't disrespect me to Mosley. Like, you got to rain on a parade. Mm-hmm. Why you think Canelo acted outside his character? Because it was his time to shine. And Andre rained on the parade. But if you keep going hot and cold, you ain't going to get nothing, man. Ain't nobody getting behind that. We got Jesus.
Call it take your foot off the gas. You can't take your foot off the gas, man.
Word,
keep your foot on their neck. That's how you get the fight. Not going to chill in your little Massachusetts mansion, man. Get out of here. It's cold over there anyway.
Call him Mr. Massachusetts.
We got Jesus. I'm a twin, even though we look alike. Females will always say my twin was the hot one. Charlo versus any 160 champion. Munguia versus Rosado. Next. Chavez Jr. equals shit emoji. Laughing my ass off.
Wow.
All right, so he's a twin, Mario, and he goes through that. They always say his brother's the hot one. That's so you ain't Mel. You Maul, champ. You Jesus Maul.
Yo, listen, before we move on from the card, I do, even though we touched on it slightly, Blair, the Flair, Cobbs.
Nah, we ain't touch on it. We got to touch on that.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to leave this card without talking about it.
Yo, no, we got to talk about the fact that this poor card was so empty, man. When I tuned in and Blair was in there fighting
people.
Yeah, it was no one there.
It was like
not even
people.
For the main event. Not even the main event had anyone
and he
there.
Still had people chanting for him. He still had people
Blair the
going.
Flair still,
woo!
Yeah, his woo and his people's woo could be heard strongly, which was strange.
Yo, he turned out. Listen, that's what I want to see. And it's like, look, I don't want to get caught in this, what Crawford does, what Crawford doesn't do. I want to talk about what all fighters do and don't do. Blair is making his name, like, he has surpassed his ability. You know what I'm saying? Like, Blair was never a guy that I saw and was like, I really like him because he's flawless. I really like him because his ceiling's so high. I really like him because he's a decorated amateur. Like, none of that is the factor. With him, he just possesses this charisma, this ability to entertain. You just laugh. Like, I showed my dad this fight. He had no idea who Blair was. He loved it. He loved the combination of somebody who's bringing that WWE entertainment value to a real sport like boxing, where you can sit on, rest on. When you say, I'm going to go in there and beat on a man, you're really going to do that. It's not some predetermined fight, but he talks like that type of, you know what I mean? He has that P.T. Barnum showcase ability. He understands what people are looking for in terms of entertainment value. And, maybe it, hits me a little harder just because I am a, avid wrestling fan. I love all of the references and homages that he pays to some of the greatest wrestlers, in the history. And he's just not afraid to be himself. You got to respect that. And he looked good. His jab was, on point. He was using distance and timing, something that I really felt like he never really did that well in previous fights against his best opposition to
too, man. He showed good pop. He busted him up, man. He was bleeding. He showed good pop. At a time, Solomon was even laughing and smiling. So I thought, oh shit, Blair probably can't hurt him until he started hurting him.
Word.
Good
what
fight,
you
man.
think?
Good fight.
No, I like his whole persona. I'm a wrestling fan as well, man. So I like his whole persona. And I also like the fact that, he's marketing himself. He has the entertainer's personality to come in the room, whether it's 1 or 1,000, and he's going to put on a show. And again, it's boxing skills as well. He's above average in a lot of things that he does. So I'm looking for him to, it's interesting to see where he goes, because I'm wondering where a win like this takes him. I'm not sure if they got, how they're moving over there on Dazn as far as welterweights, man. But, where you guys think he goes next?
Man, go ahead.
It all depends, right? Like, Rashidi Ellis is definitely a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Do they
he's not a Golden Boy anymore.
His contract was up like a month ago. Do they re-sign him and give him the Blair fight? I don't even know. Where else can Blair go on that Golden Boy side that's not Virgil? And Virgil has a fight with Kavaliauskas, I believe.
I don't even like that fight either. Like, for me, it's like it's not an equivalent jump to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's too much.
I would like Luther Clay, man.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Give him Luther Clay or Chris Congo, but those dudes,
I like Luther Clay.
They haven't made it on this side of the pond in terms of, like, the promoters. They don't know him. It's us hardcores that know those dudes. But I always liked the Luther Clay fight for fucking Blair Cobbs, man.
Yeah, he called out Jesse Vargas. Well, they kind of called each other.
Yeah, and that's a good fight.
They called Jesse Vargas. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I'm jumping in your phrase. You're actually did the due diligence to remember to bring up the call out and the setup. It was really a DAZN setup. It looks like Jesse's gonna come back down, which is a good thing for Cobbs. Jesse's been at 54 for some time now. He fought Humberto Soto. He fought a couple of guys at 54. I believe he came back down for Mikey. Did he? At 47, did he come back down for Mikey? I'm gonna Google him. But for Cobbs, that's not a bad fight, because you're getting Jesse, having a struggle to get back down to 47. Even if he fought Mikey at 47, it was over 2 years ago, right? Or 1 year ago. It was February 2029.
February 29th, 2020, and in that fight, Mikey weighed in at 145 3/4, and Jesse made the weight limit of 147.
And let's be real.
Before that, he fought Humberto Soto and weighed 150.5.
Let's be real. Right now, if you ever gonna do it, now is the time to get Jesse, man. I mean, look, if I just take you back all the way to 2014, he beat Antonio DeMarco. His next fight, You know, he got outclassed for 11 complete rounds versus Timothy Bradley. Then he landed one punch, and he wanted to trick the public into believing that he knocked out Bradley and that the referee cheated him, and it was not true. Bradley outclassed him for 11 out of 12 rounds. He comes back, and he gets a come-from-behind win over Saddam Ali, which definitely impressed me. I thought Saddam Ali would outbox him, and he cracked Ali and knocked him out. After that, he gets a Pacquiao fight because he was the WBO champ, and he loses to Pacquiao. After that, Aaron Herrera, then a draw to Broner, then a draw to Dolome, then a win at 50 versus Humberto, 57-year-old Soto. Then he lost to Mikey.
I thought you said it was 50.
Then he lost to Mikey and got dropped 1 or 2 times in that fight. Like, if you're Blair Cobbs, the time is now. Not to mention this dude's been fighting like once a year, you know,
he's 3-3-2 in his last 8 fights, and that's since 2015. 3-3-2. Okay, and the opposition has been, you know, pretty decent, but
definitely decent.
Definitely decent, but still, like you're saying, it's not allowing Jesse to, you know, rack up a few more wins, gain the confidence, the momentum, you know, get his body right back at 147 and then have to fight him, as opposed to, as you're saying, you know, working on a guy who, let's be honest, has always kind of been in a weird situation weight class wise. It was like he was big for a certain weight, then he was small for it was just like very strange situation with him. So I get that. Switching trainers, yes.
Yeah.
Good point.
Good call.
Point. So I think you're right. The other name that was floating around was Adrian Broner, and he did mention that on this show. Twitter took that and ran with it. A lot of people seem very interested in a Broner-Blair fight. I don't know if Broner would be as interested, but I am all in on that fight. I would love it.
Blair is nowhere on Broner's radar. Sure, and it's just not gonna happen. It's not even. Sure. He's not big enough. Like, he's not a Devin Haney. There's no reason.
I agree.
We got Protege with a super chat that says, yo, shout out TBV and shout out Golden Boy. Man, yo, they had some exciting fights. Mario, just to put you on game, Protege, look at his logo when it pops up 15 seconds from now. You said more like 30. That's the guy that was with Baldy. And Baldy was with his lady. It was him with the baseball cap, just so you know. Shout out to you for showing up to Watertown, Wisconsin. You know, you're a conversion, man. You really came out. You and Baldy bought a beautiful $500 table. Y'all rocked out with TBV, man, and we glad we met. Oh, and he gave me fucking like, yo, champ though, Protege. What's up with those pre-rolls, bro? They was like baby pre-rolls.
But they were good though.
Of course. It was Mario's always the nice guy. Look at Mario. Like Mario's like, damn, let me help Ness. They were good though. But they were just like the size of my pinky though. Like, and I don't need, not even the thickness. Not even the thick. I'm talking about like the. I've never ever seen, because I've
seen half rolls before.
I bought raw cone shorts, and then quickly realized, no, I need raw cone king size. But those are even shorter than the regular short ones. Those was like, I feel like those was like, yo, here's this 5-pack of appetizers so you could taste each strain, because it was like, I think it was each.
Yeah, I don't know that was kind of what it was.
Those are shorties. You get a pack of shorty out with your girl.
Word.
Restaurants, you just real quick, like,
it was like a variety.
That's what we needed. We needed those like short, quick, boom, boom, boom. I mean, there were times when we were pressed for time. It was like, whoa.
I think it was more like a sample pack. Like, this 5. And you know, you get a few
different flavors.
Yes. But anyway, keeping it moving. What we got next on the super chat here? I want to get to everybody. Keep them in the conversation. James Benitez says, Mario, do you think Cool Boy Steph versus Inoue is the biggest fight for the smaller weights? Do you think they'll make the fight ever?
I think that is a big fight for sure. It's not the biggest. For me, the biggest is with what Donaire has as momentum versus Casimero, to produce the winner of that and fight Inoue is, in my opinion, not just one of the biggest fights that could be made in the division, one of the best fights that can be made in all of the sport. But yo, listen, Stefan, he is the truth. He's the future. He is definitely going to have plenty of big fights in his future for sure. But I would love it.
Is him and Inoue in the same division?
They are definitely in the same division. Yes. It's because you got to think about it like this, right?
But why? If Stefan has a belt.
No. Wait. I'm sorry. No. Inoue's in the division below him. I'm sorry. Stefan Fulton's a super bantamweight, and Inoue's a regular bantamweight. Again, that's the beauty of this division. You're talking about so super bantam's 118 and then 122. So you're talking about the difference of 4 pounds that separate Inoue, Casimero, Donaire, Ubali, Emmanuel Rodriguez, Casimero-Rigondeaux, Gary Russell, Stefan Fulton, the IBF, I can't remember how to say his name. It's like a Magdalev or something like that. Brandon Figueroa, who just had his, career-defining performance. Angelo Leo proved that he's a big fight no matter what. Teshi Agawa is a big fight still. Reese Alim is still out there. A great fighter. Hovnesian. I mean, these are some of the best. Louis Neary, despite the loss, he's still, a top guy, top fighter. These are the two of the deepest divisions is close to each other, And then don't forget, 115 has Estrada, Ioka, Chocolatito, Joshua Franco. I mean, this is some of the most stacked lighter guys, and some of these guys have pop of welterweights. Inoue, devastating. I mean, everybody in the hotel watching him. People stopped to see after that body shot. Everybody's like, oh God. I mean, these are people that just were at a 4-hour boxing event, pull over on their way to the room to watch this fight. And yeah, man, it's crazy.
We got Sarcasm, who says the only reason I was concerned for Gabe was because he been hanging out with Coach Cam doing that telegraph mitt work. Glad he used Freddie Roach. I wonder if he means Coach Cam, the female that we interviewed, the female coach. And
I thought he was talking about Manny Pacquiao's dude.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I probably got that wrong then.
Shit. Yeah, no, I mean, look, they're both from LA, so I can see him doing some work with her, but mitt work is mitt work. Like you said, glad he used Freddie Roach and brought in the big guns for the big fight. We got Super Mex, who says Rosado was setting that shot up the whole fight.
That's how I felt. I'm not saying the whole fight, but I think there was a point where he saw the wideness of those punches and knew that there was an opening to be found.
Salute, Tony Boswell. Much respect to you, my friend. Shout out to you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to everybody who's joining us. Listen, if you don't send a super chat, that's okay. Hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. It's going to put this episode in the eyes of more boxing fans, and that means we'll get more callers. If you want to call in and give us your opinion on tonight's, or rather last night's action, 14255695241. Press 1 time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, you could also add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation. Brotherhood says,
go ahead.
Free Francis. Francis is back on his grind, man. He's got to focus on his brand. And yeah, he's doing his thing, champ. We got
Pat's Nation with the next super chat. Says, so the two biggest threats to Canelo both got worked by a D-level fighter. It's about time people give that man his respect. Time to respect all boxers.
That is true, man. That is true. That's why these fights need to be fought, man, because people look at people and like, oh, that dude's a bum. It's like, well,
word. The next one, I ain't reading that shit. All right, I guess I'll read it, whatever. Super chat from Show Kid 2005, but only 2004 teeth. Says, I apologize to the TBV community. Y'all still have to listen to Mario's bullshit boxing takes. Don't worry, this won't last too long. Hashtag where the B sample at. You mother, yo. All right.
Show Kid is
so he think you dirty. He think
I'll
you
tell you what.
community.
You know what?
Yo,
we'll test in the next fight.
Test,
I'll go and give my sample, and then they can collect the blood from your mouth after our fight, and run that for you. So.
Yo, but you offered to take a test. What happened?
I offered to pay for it. I said but I wasn't gonna drive around the whole town, looking for a Walgreens, even though we were actually next to a Walgreens. Now I think about it, but yeah, man, I said I would pay for it. Say nothing.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to JCC Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. letting everyone know that Canelo is his favorite hijo. Laughing out loud emoji, and that's a super chat from Majimbe. Shout out with the super chat. We got Fred Robinson that says, why can't Gary Russell Jr. get any of those names in the ring? That's a good thing, but I mean, he's worse than Andre, right? Like, he goes all the way silent for a few months at a time.
Word.
So
he can
these
talk
guys,
some shit though, man. Gary Russell could talk some shit.
He can, but he needs to do it consistently.
I agree. He talks his way into a fight, I think.
Exactly.
Word.
I mean, I don't know that he can either. He talks a good game and we all get entertained, but the truth is he's done that and hasn't gotten the fight. All the talking didn't get him the Crawford fight. It didn't get him the Devin Haney fight. It never got him the Leo Santa Cruz or the Abner Mares fight. He's been talking for years. He's got to do something more than just talk.
You read that Fred Robinson one?
Yes.
Okay, so we're on CRB1, correct?
Yes.
CRB1 with the super chat says, shout out to Mario, one of the few that took me seriously when I kept saying Fury AJ was a fake fight, and it's Fury Wilder 3. Hashtag this is the way. See you there.
See you there. I mean, I ain't gonna be able to see you there. Those are just too expensive. Too expensive.
Protege 80. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Protege 80 with another super chat. 3 laughing emojis. Say, yo, I had you, Doomy, and Mario in mind. 3 laughing out loud emojis.
All right.
My man.
Shout out to you,
and
man. Thank you for coming through.
Shout out for coming through for real.
Yeah, it looks like we got everybody.
Yeah, we got everybody. I think we should really quick touch on that Anderson Silva.
Yeah, let's go for it. Man.
Did y'all get to see it?
No,
yeah.
and we got to double back, to like who's next for Charlo. We never did that. Shout out to Dazn, man. Yo, Dazn, Jesus, bro. Like, they literally cover the whole sport on their Instagram. They posted Charlo's win.
Right. Everything.
Inoue's win. Like, they do
Good
everything,
call,
man. They're so, they understand.
They're trying to be just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's for them, it's not about the politics of it all. Like that's what I hate so much about boxing, and that's what I hate so much about wrestling. It's like pretending the competition doesn't exist only serves to make people give the openings for people to call you propaganda or call you fake or whatever, and it's bullshit. But at the end of the day, so is the move to pretend the rest of the sport doesn't exist. Shout out to DAZN for real.
For real, man. That was a breath of fresh air. Not only did they post his win, they posted like, who do you think is next? Like, they posted Chavez and Anderson Silva. They're on it, man. They're on it, man.
Definitely.
Legitimately covering boxing.
For sure. I mean, so what'd you think, Anderson Silva and Chavez Jr.?
Yo, Silva was 46 years old, right? And Chavez looked like how Chavez looked, but he couldn't fight how he wanted to fight. He couldn't really bully. He wasn't as tough on the inside as he used to be. And Silva did a good job of playing with his food, man. It was interesting to watch because if you was watching it, you would have thought that Silva was the old boxer. You know what I'm saying? Like the kind of tricks he was trying to pull with the feints, baiting him in, trying to roll his shoulder, laying on the ropes. It wasn't anything pretty, but it was something that you're saying to yourself, Chavez beat Andy Lee. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand how he had a problem with Anderson Silva at 46, but I also know that Chavez is Jr. is Chavez Jr. So, I want to say, score one for Anderson Silva. I like the old dog, man, and I'm proud of it. And since this is the direction that this shit seems to be going, you know what I'm saying? Throw him in there with Roy Jones eventually. Throw him in there with another old guy.
Let's do it.
Bruh,
Let's do it. I'm down.
Chavez needs to be He needs to be punished, man. He needs to be punished. He needs to be restricted from boxing. You know, you let boxing down, not just your dad.
For real.
Not just your dad. You know, not only did you lose to an MMA dude, but you lost to an old MMA dude.
And you gave up 100,000 of your purse for failing to make the 182-pound limit. Like, already you lost, looking like a piece of trash.
This dude
against
missed
Silva.
weight. Oh my God!
Yeah,
he missed
weight.
He missed
He's
weight.
like infamous for this. Like, he doesn't ever. Yo, wow.
But of all times to do it in a situation where you're able to set the weight, like Silva would have agreed to anything, 85, 88. Like, you came and missed it. It's almost like if you either didn't give a shit, which is what I believe, or you plan to do it, which is just stupidity. This was an awful look for boxing as a whole. All I can say is that Ness is right. We need to just disassociate ourselves with Chavez Jr. Like, he let boxing down. He gave the window open for, and I'm not saying Joe Rogan's going to say it, but, you know, there are the MMA guys out there that are going to point at this and say, I told you, MMA is mixed. You have to be so smart to understand these many disciplines. Boxing's only one discipline. Boxing is a science, my man. Boxing is a science. And when a fighter who is a combat fighter understands the science as well as somebody like Silva, things like that can happen. Okay, now, will Silva beat a Caleb Plant? Would he beat a Charlo? Fuck no.
Hell no.
But could he beat a boxer who doesn't take it serious and is, you know, kind of an ass? Yes, he can. He proved it. He looked good at times. Used his hands very well. He understood distance. You know, there were a lot of things to like about Anderson Silva, as Amin said. And I think
at 46.
At 46,
you know
based on this, I 100% agree with Amin that there is a avenue here for Silva in boxing. Now, he has to take it like the Paul brothers, that where he's taking very specific fights. You know, he doesn't want to jump up in there in the world-class level because he is not elite by any means of the word. That said, he is entertaining. He does have a set of skills, and we'll see where he takes it. But I actually had fun watching it, you know, despite the fact that it was the outcome that I, you know, hoped wouldn't happen. It was still fun to watch. And respect Silva for sure.
Yeah, and one thing I want to add to that real quick. Silva spent a lot of years, this is way back in the day, him and Roy Jones were supposed to have a joint. You know what I'm saying? So he's been down this road before as far as the preparation and thinking he was going to have a fight. And I thought, you know, he had a couple professional joints in the lead up to that. So, you know, or some fights that counted as pro fights. I think he was like 2-1 and 2-1.
BoxRec has him as 1-1 before last night.
Okay, see?
So 2-1
yeah,
now.
Man. Yeah, so, you know, the sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it might be just a small fraction of fighters that he can actually get in there with to where he can still keep the competitive edge over. But definitely he could take on a YouTuber.
For sure.
Take on a boxing YouTuber.
Yo, I think he beats Logan.
Who, Silva?
Yeah, I think Silva beats Logan.
Man, they need to make that fight. Logan sleeps that.
I love that.
Logan sleeps. Yo, Chavez don't.
Yeah, I knew
that. Dog. I knew you were gonna say that.
Chavez don't got no killer instinct, man. He literally let Silva out the corners and everything.
Yeah,
he was afraid. Silva was.
He did some body work though early.
Bro, Chavez, man, Chavez. You know, I'm refraining myself from calling him a bum because I understand that he could beat me up. But dude, this dude's like a huge disappointment, man. He's like, he should have just stopped fighting. Honestly, after the Martinez fight, he should have just called it. Like, I had that big moment. You know, I showed the world I was on that level at least, even though it was just like really one big round. But that would have been the best. Like, that would have been a way to salvage his name. Like, at this point, almost every fight since then has done nothing but tarnish whatever legacy that he had. And to a degree, it's kind of affected his dad's legacy. Like, how realistically does Chavez Sr. take any of these exhibition fights if he didn't have to if he didn't have to you know, worry about what his son was doing and tarnishing that legacy?
Get out of here.
You're not gonna let Pops down, right, baby girl? You're never gonna pull a Chavez Jr.
Listen, you gotta raise your
She ain't
kids
built
right.
that way. Exactly.
You gotta raise your kids right, because it's no way that, number one, Chavez Jr. should have been on, Senior should have been on that card. He was on it to me just to hold it up in case, Sonny ain't get right on there. You know what I'm saying? And I know he's still a competitor, but that was business because he's smart. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's like, you know what I'm saying? You still gotta, you paying your kids child support, or you still gotta do certain things for him, and you like, I wish this kid would get right. Entitlements, because now he think he's entitled to a rematch with Canelo. He think he was entitled to a draw. He had one judge give it, I think it was like 77, 70. I mean, come on, bro. Like, come on. You got to take the. And I'm saying the Chavez that beat Andy Lee that dropped Sergio Martinez.
Yeah.
But I know he's far removed from that.
Far removed. Yeah. It just for the record, it was 77-75 on all three judges' scorecards. 2 for Silva, 1 for Chavez Jr. So it was a split decision win. I'm not. It wasn't a blowout, but it's hard for me. I didn't score it, but it's hard for me to imagine giving that fight to Chavez even by a single point or a single round. Like that's tough to do. But Chavez Sr. looked good too. If what they're saying is true and this was his last time out there, he gave it his all, man. He went out. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Did he get into did he get like a little scuffle during the fight?
He did. Yeah, bro.
They
like
start
he
punching
went out
each other like with the ref breaking it. This old guy.
But
he hilarious.
He did that last time when he was in there against Jorge Arce. He was hitting him below the belt. He was hitting him all around the fucking protector. I say, what the fuck is wrong with this old guy? He's like beefing with the referee. The referee's coming to the break. He's pushing the ref. He's on one, man.
I mean, he's one of the few guys that can make headgear fights look legit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were wearing headgear, and at some point I'm like, they're just going at it. Like, they did not care if they were wearing headgear or not. Like, they was going at it, bro. But that was fun. That was fun for what it was, but I think you're right. I think there is a degree of Chavez Sr. doing this and being on the card to prop up the name in case, my man drops the ball. So, yeah, man. That was a fun night. It was a fun night. It was here's the thing. The Canelo thing, I don't know what y'all thought. I thought it seemed very staged. I think that they probably always did plan for Canelo to be the corner man. Like, if you saw it right, it was like basically right before the fight starts. Like, this was on some fucking Rocky Thunderlip shit. Like, they hold the rope open and they're like, come on, Canelo. And like, people are like, wait, does he want to fight Canelo? Like, is he inviting him for this to be a triple threat match? Like, what's going on? And then Canelo comes in like, kind of pretending to be surprised. And then he's like, oh, you're going to corner me. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to corner you. Like, to me, that didn't seem like a decision that would be made in that time frame so clear. You know what I mean? Especially like everybody kind of seemed on board with it. So I thought it was a little setup, but I thought it was cool as hell. Like, the way it went down, it was like a movie. Like, you know what I mean? It's my last fight. I'm one of the greatest of all time Mexicans. Canelo's going to corner me. Like, oh, man. That shit was nuts.
And and I think not too long ago, right when Canelo fought, it was the controversy. Who's the greatest Mexican fighter of all time? So that's smart marketing. Remember, Chavez Sr., listen, he's a smart guy. There's no doubt about it. It's just that, sometimes you have to work harder when you're dealing with a deficit or a yoke. You know what I mean? You're moving with a yoke. You digging a hole. And I think Junior, you know what I'm saying? Junior let boxing down, but you know what I'm saying? I think Chavez Jr., Senior probably don't give a fuck at this point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He knows what he's dealing with. Again, smart enough. Canelo's going to be in the building. Canelo's going to come in corner. The controversy was there. And I'm going to rough this guy up and make people talk about me.
Great point. Very, very great point. Staying on the exhibition, line here, one of the big takeaways from the Munguia card was actually De La Hoya, who gave an interview to Dazn and released his brilliant 3-fight strategies, fighting Vitor Belfort in September 11th. And then he wants to have one more fight after that, and then he wants to challenge Floyd Mayweather to what he's saying is going to be like a real comeback boxing fight. Like, he actually wants to fight him in boxing. His logic is that he can get that fight based on the fact that Floyd let so many people down, which I don't know what that's about. He beat Logan clearly. And he is convinced that he can get that fight. What are y'all's thoughts? Any interest in seeing De La Hoya Mayweather 2 after all this time?
Yo, let me tell you something. First of all,
tell me.
Vitor Belfort, he got a long history of that hormone replacement therapy.
Word.
So again, this is another choice opponent who may come in there, may or may not make weight. He may come in there skinny with man boobs, you know what I'm saying? Because he ain't got the juice no more.
Word.
Like, yo, and listen, De La Hoya, stockings, heels, faded or not, he's still Oscar De La Hoya. So
Word.
I don't want to fight him. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, me neither.
But Vitor Belfort is a henpicked opponent, and if the fight even happens, he'll wash him up. The second opponent, like, you know, who's he gonna get? You know, I think somebody that really wants to, you know, kick his ass, or somebody that actually, you know, thinks that, you know, it's a worthwhile time, like it's worth the money. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Shit, knowing Golden Boy, man, you know, shit. What's my man? Bernard may jump in there with him.
Yo, that would be nuts. Yo, don't give him ideas. I mean, that.
Yo, because Oscar, I don't even think he has a good enough relationships with his peers, you know, to kind of get any fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's he gonna get and be like, yo, it's me and so. Who's he gonna get on the phone and get? Most people, they may, you know, be ashamed to be associated with him if they can't do good business with him, you know, to be seen near him.
Yo, and the point you made is valid. Like, who does he get? That's just a valid point in general. Now add to it the idea that you actually plan to fight Floyd Mayweather Jr., who showed what he showed at his age, you know, just a few weeks ago.
200-pound man.
Exactly.
200-pound young-ass man.
Exactly. And you want to come back after fighting a Vitor Belfort and God knows who else after that, and you think that's going to prepare you fully to make your in-ring return? Like, listen, I know he's an athlete. He's one of the best of all time. And like you said, he's still Oscar De La Hoya, but he's still Floyd Mayweather Jr. And to a much closer degree is he Floyd Mayweather Jr. in his prime than De La Hoya is from his prime. You know what I mean? Like, who's removed further from that, you know, 2007 matchup? Like, I think there's no way you could say it's Floyd Mayweather. It has to be De La Hoya. So I don't know. To me, it's probably marketing. I don't think he really thinks that fight happens. I think it's a way of, you know, selling tickets and selling the idea of him fighting Vitor Belfort, which I'm all in for. Like, honestly, like, again, as long as they're not pro fights and we're not really, you know, I'm interested in some of these things. You know what I'm saying? Silva Chavez Jr. was, it is what it is.
Yeah, De La Hoya out here like Don Quixote, man. He has some imaginary I don't know what he's doing, yo.
So,
you're fucking boxing. You're probably right, bro.
So for me, it didn't really matter what De La Hoya said. Like, oh, I'm gonna have 2 fights and I'm gonna call out Mayweather. Like, how does that change anything? Like, first of all, aren't you calling him out right now by saying in 2 fights you're calling him out?
He's not thinking that shit at all.
He just continues to prove that they need to stop letting a mic be in his face and really control his PR. Bruh, he's out of control. Like, Floyd isn't going to give him a fight.
Why would he? Like, what's in it for Floyd at that point?
I have no clue.
Nothing.
No clue. It's not even that if there was something in it for Floyd. Floyd ain't in the business of helping you. Not Oscar. He never gave him the rematch. Why would he give you? He know everyone. Listen, none of us know, but we all assume Oscar's fucked shit up, and that's why he on Triller. Why else? Why else is this 60-year-old man fighting?
Word. And why have there been so many issues with him putting fights on for DAZN? I mean, I know some of the injuries you can't really account for, but Ryan, you know, Jaime, you know, where's Verge? Like, you know, it's just, it seems more and more clear.
Munguia's fight was announced like 2 weeks ago. This is the worst promotion.
That was supposed to happen in April.
Did you see how empty that place was? It was crazy, man. Sad.
But this is the card. This is the card. It's De La Hoya, Mayweather in the main event. You got Badu Jack and Bernard Hopkins in the co-main. And you got Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis also on that card. And then you throw in for shits and giggles. Like, you
Who
saying
else?
they just gonna put the card together? Yeah, I mean, listen, I was gonna say, who they got now at Golden Boy? At Mayweather. They trying to pump. Rolly.
Rolly
On
okay.
there.
Rolly Ryan
there,
might make more sense too. Like, I mean, because it would be hard for me to think it's like a Tank Ryan, like all that firepower on that one card is gonna be a lot of money. Like, I would like Ryan and Rolly. That's not a fight that I really cared about at the time, but now that time has gone on, it's like, yo, why not? Shit.
Nah.
If that card got made,
I want Haney Rolly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really feeling Ryan anymore, man. He played with us for like the whole last 8 months, man. Like, maybe it was less, man. Maybe it was less. Wait, maybe it was less. When did he fight Campbell? Shit. It was like after Campbell.
That was around January, February.
After Campbell, he started talking about
February. You're right.
After Campbell, he started talking about, oh, I'm fighting Tank. Oh, I'm fighting Pacquiao. Oh, I'm fighting Javier Fortuna. Oh, I'm fighting. I mean,
big announcement coming soon. Big announcement.
Yo, big announcement next week.
I can't.
Yo.
You know
that was
he's got to earn my trust again, man. I can't fuck with him like that.
I hear you. I do. Real quick too. I think because I didn't get y'all's take, I kind of just mentioned it. So Ness, you called for it, and once again, I don't know what genie bottle you found, but we are about to get Casimero and Donaire in a fight, all Filipino show out. That is going to be epic. Now it seems like they would be on track to get Inoue after last night's performance, and based on the idea of Donaire and Casimero, do these guys have y'all's attention fully? Are you looking forward to this?
I mean, yeah. I mean, listen, Donaire is on his George Foreman shit, so I'm a tune in, and then if he wins, that means he gets his rematch with Donaire. It's funny. I seen all your little friends. It's crazy how if you say something about Inoue, oh my God, the thread is so long. Did you see the thread, Mario?
It's saw it, yeah.
Oh, hey guys, did you see the guy from the Boxing Voice said that Donaire's better than Inoue? I didn't even say that. These dudes are, you hipsters are so whack.
Kill you over them little guys, man.
For real, bro. And that's the thing. They come at me they come at me like if I'm not the one that's like saying, trying to hype it. Like,
I'm glad because they laughed at me, right? And now look at what's happening. Now it's Donaire, Casimero, and if he sleeps Mero, he'll be back in there with Inoue, and we'll have some clarity, to say the least.
Definitely some clarity, but I got Casimero in the fight. I think
on Twitter, they undermining Donaire's fight with Inoue. They acting like he was just slaughtered. I didn't remember that.
They do, and I think that it, like, if you look at the fight, knowing that he couldn't even see past like an early round.
It was like third, fourth round.
Yeah, it was like the third or fourth. Thank you. And the fact that he was able to do what he did, because he was never in trouble in that fight from the perspective of losing the fight. He was hurt and he had a very serious injury, and obviously that makes you vulnerable. But his vulnerability wasn't nearly as close to the vulnerability of another fighter, of an average fighter. I mean, this man is still a monster with one eye or not. Call him Cyclops at that point. And what he was able to do last night, against what opposition, sure, but he just showed that he has the abilities that everybody says he does. He has this punching power, and he has these, trademarks of fighters that you want to see and you pay to see. Because he's at such a lower weight class, it hampers his ability on the commercial market. That said, when you have a puncher like Casimero, when you have someone like Donaire who's made a resurgence, has this momentum, this is what boxing is about. Fighting the best. This man, Inoue, you know what he could say? Well, I beat Donaire. I beat him already. Why do I have to fight him? He could go on the Canelo tip with Triple G. You know what I'm saying? It's the same fucking thing. but he's here saying, I will fight that man again. Let him beat Casimero. I'll fight him again. If Casimero wins, I'll fight Casimero. They took pictures. Donaire and Inoue took pictures together, this past weekend. Donaire with his belt, and they're kind of playing around, but these dudes are here to fight for real, and they want to fight the best, and salute to every fucking division. I don't care how much you weigh. When you want to fight the best, you got my respect.
And I think one thing that Donaire, the confidence that he'll have coming into this next fight, Mario, you said it. He's not going to be fighting as cautiously. Donaire is at his best when when he's feeling himself and he got that rhythm and he's throwing his punch. When he don't have that going, and Inoue is so surgical. That's what I observed. Again, I didn't know if it was the opponent, and I had to respect it. He's surgical.
That's the best word to use.
So I'm thinking Donaire, he gonna throw caution to the wind. He gonna come in there like Gabe Rosado. He gonna be like, I ain't got shit to lose. I'm coming in here feeling myself.
That's what I don't like about Donaire. See, what I seen yesterday is that Inoue is more activity. He's setting things up. Donaire is more counterpunch. He wants one big lights out moment.
Yes.
And that's gonna be his downfall. He's always looking for that one shot rather than setting them shots up. He gets into slug fights and shit, but it is what it is, I guess.
Definitely. Yo, shout out to Marlene Esparza too. Yeah,
that was a good ass fight.
It was a very good fight. She needed to be knocked down, I think.
I watched that, man. That was a nice fight. And the knockdown, that shit was exciting.
It was.
Honestly, it was so surprising to see a girl get dropped. I don't know when's the last time that really happened. Obviously, I know Savannah Marshall put somebody down and stuff like that. But, she made it exciting, man. She made it exciting. And Esparza, she puts her punches together well. Zamora was the harder puncher, it felt like, but she was too straight up. Esparza had that, amateur background, that pedigree.
Yep.
She would pivot. She would do certain little things, and it was a decent fight, man. It was definitely a decent, entertaining fight. Shout out to them. Shout out to Esparza. She becomes a world champion after failing against Sinisa. Estrada, so maybe now they can do a rematch
for the straps. They both got straps now.
Yeah, but since we talking females winning titles, I don't want to go on without mentioning Melissa Odessa Parker, who won the IBO yesterday.
Congrats to Melissa Odessa
becoming a champion, and now she's on the hunt for the other four. Hopefully now by getting one of the lesser 5 of sanctioning bodies, but maybe now she can get the attention of some of these other fights and or other fighters, should I say, and get herself in a bigger, better opportunity. Just got to credit a young lady that is willing to do what she's done in 5 fights. Her last 2 opponents exceed the expectations for opposition, you know what I mean? Especially when you got 4 wins and 2 knockouts. Now she improves to 5 wins, but Salgado had 40 fights almost, and Roman had 20 fights. So she's been stepping it up and captured this vacant IBO title. Improves to 5-0 with 2 KOs. She went, all 10 rounds, so she proved she can go 10, So
good point.
Man. Yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting to see, what happens now. She's in the 122-pound division, and she's got, a strap or will be ranked at the very least now.
Who's in that division?
You got Daniela Roman Bermudez. You got I don't know none of these names. Wow. She's the only Rachel Ball. Rachel Ball is there.
Oh yeah, Rachel Ball, good call.
Shout out to my girl Rachel Ball. I mean, Shannon Courtney's in that division as well. A lot of UK fighters, huh?
Nah,
I don't think Shannon Courtney. No, Marine's in it though.
Who?
Marine, the American Shea.
Marine Shea.
Yeah,
Oh, but
she's from New York.
She's got to be inactive though. She's got to be inactive. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she had her last fight in 2020. I know that for a fact, but it was like February or January, something like that. She's a southpaw though, 40 years old, but that's the kind of fight like you get experience in. Melissa beats her though, I think for sure. But you have a couple of people too that are undefeated. Dina Thorsland. I've never seen her fight, but they had brought her up.
Denmark.
Yeah, she's from Denmark.
Listen, that Rachel Ball fight, if she can get that international, that's, on a matchroom card or something.
That would be a good fight, man.
Good.
Yo, it's that really division, man. But I get it. If she could unify this division, then moving up, it'll make more sense financially. But I don't know anybody in the top 50, bruh, except for Rachel Ball. And I'm still looking. I don't really see nothing, man.
Well, like you said, it's about getting to that next level, and that next level, you got Amanda Serrano, weight above her. Even Jelena's in that division, too. Even though she's coming off of a loss, Jelena's in that division as well. She's definitely a name, and she's definitely someone that raises your profile. And Erica Cruz Hernandez, who beat Jelena in that last fight, which she showcased a lot of stuff. She's a Mexican fighter, southpaw as well. And that would be a good fight too. So, there are definitely some options down the line. But for a fighter who's 5-0, I think she's on a great path right now. And I am definitely expecting bigger things moving forward.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, step in the right direction. This belt gets her noticed and ranked. So we'll see what shakes, man. We'll see what ends up being the next move here. But congratulations to her for strapping up and taking those steps necessary to unify the division.
Yes, well said. Well said. Yeah, and that card last night, there were a couple of other fighters that had fought.
Harold Calderon, the welterweight, he also, didn't he win let me look him up.
Harold Calderon.
He's got like 25 wins now, and I think he won the IBO welterweight title, so
the IBO Intercontinental welterweight title was on the line. He's going to be on our
television here pretty soon. Calderon. Yeah. I don't know.
I went to the event, and it does not have it doesn't have the results yet for his fight.
What?
Yeah, even though actually the only result that's been put in is Melissa's. Like, it doesn't say what Courtney Jackson won. Javon Garnett was another undefeated fighter on the card.
I mean,
against,
let me see his. Let me check his Instagram.
Check his IG.
I seen him partying like a motherfucker. The after party was at Booby
I thought
Trap.
He did win. I thought I remember seeing on IG or maybe Twitter that he did win, but I didn't get to see any other details. So, yeah, I had checked the box rec and it still wasn't up, and it's still not up. So, and Melissa's wasn't up right away either. I knew she had won.
Well, he definitely got the win because he got tonight at my after party. Join me and celebrate me reaching 25-0, and on box rec they got him at 24-0. So he definitely got the win already.
Yeah,
nice little flyer for his after party too.
That's good. Oh,
let me show y'all who he is, man. Let me screen share who he is because he's gonna be on the TV near you soon. He's from out here in Florida, and he's been working on the ground level. He's like Boots, right? And I don't mean in skill. I mean like 25 fights in and you don't know him yet. So yeah, here we go. This is Harold. We were scheduled to have him on. He wanted to do it after the weigh-in. And then, we got busy. The weigh-in was obviously Friday. So, but if you out there, you could go to lounge weekends, and he's in Hollywood, go celebrate with the champ. And this is Harold, right? So, he got the win.
Got that on.
And he's a welterweight. And looks like he picked up that IBO strap, and he got a WBC strap too. Let me see, does he got anything here? Oh, so he had got a late replacement, unfortunately. That sucks.
Okay. Yo, he wearing that belt proper.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens.
That is a dope after party.
That's a
flyer.
nice looking belt. Let me see.
I like that. It's like a flyer. Like
it's
it's
the
like
same one we got. It's just because of the lighting, you can see the black around the leather at the top.
Yo, that's sick.
IBO. We gotta put that IBO up. Wednesday, 7 p.m. We're gonna be having a Border Wars show at 7 p.m. Wednesday. This Wednesday and every Wednesday moving forward. Saturdays was getting a little bit uncomfortable because we also did live fight chats and, you know, people wasn't waking up. So we're just going to do it at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. West Coast, Wednesday. Every Wednesday moving forward. Border Wars is on Wednesday. We also have a post out on Patreon if you want to drop any specific Border Wars question or a matchup you might want to talk about, something you might want to recommend, the fight maybe you want to happen, you know. Go ahead and drop that in the Patreon post. Also, you can drop your untitled question. I promise I'm going to do untitled with or without co-host. No more excuses. I'm going on every Monday with or without these guys for untitled. So drop your question. I'm going to be doubling up, so don't put the same question from last week. I'm going to start with last week's and do this week's, all right? That was your Patreon intermission. Boom. Back to Jaro Calderon. Let's check the rankings. Go to 547. And is Jaro anywhere? I don't see him. 50. I don't see him in the top 15 on any of these sanctioning bodies. Where he's at on BoxRec? Let me see. BoxRec, he's 49 in the world. 49 in the world. So that's like...
That's not bad.
That's right behind Undango. That's a good fight. They should get him that Undango fight. Damn, they got DeMarco all the way down there when he was just almost upsetting Stantillion and shit on ESPN. That's crazy.
Yo, didn't Undango just lose recently?
Look at Zuski. Zuski in 41 position after my man Kavalasquez did that to him. Let me see. Could y'all see it? Oh, y'all can't even see it. Let me adjust. My bad. There you go. Zuski and Undango. That's all good fights for him. He could take that. Undango, DeMarco, you know, Alex Rocha.
I like that Alex Rocha fight.
Damn, they did. My boy Formella done drop. He had 35. You better jump on Formella. They better get him that Formella fight while he got all them bruises to lick. But any final thoughts, gentlemen, before we open up these phone lines, see if anybody out here want to rock out? It is Father's Day. A lot of people out here chilling with the familia. Like the rock.
Listen, just a great night of fights. Definitely interested to hear what people thought about Charlo. You know, the last thing I'll say is as far as who's next for Charlo, because the question was presented, and I think everybody, you know, is interested in giving their take. I would just love to see Andre, but I don't think that's realistic. So listen, any belt holder at this point, I don't care. Any belt holder, that's what I want to see for Charlo. At this point, despite what anyone wants to say about last night's victory, it was a victory. It's built off of serious momentum, and the guy has earned a real shot somewhere, and I want to see him get it.
Yeah, man. I whatever happens after this, it's got to be in the direction of somebody where, again, we have to respect the level of opponent, you know, because Gabe Rosado, you know, we might be reaching out there. We definitely know middleweight, like I said, it's pretty good options out there. The Munguia fight's on the table now, so let's not get, when you open up the phone lines, let's not get crazy. I know half these motherfuckers gonna talk about some Canelo. So let's just put it in proper perspective. Stop talking Charlo Canelo just yet. But go ahead. I'm good.
Yo, shout out to Gabe. He commented on our reaction for the fight chat yesterday. Yo.
What did he say?
Mad emojis, laughing out loud with the flexing. He
That's
commented
what's up,
twice. He
man.
put another
Damn,
one.
I wish I could have been on.
With the hands up emoji.
Oh,
and
with the hands up, yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. You give a bunch of spoons and forks for no reason.
Dope, man. Yo, I was so happy for him. Look at Mike. Yo, I got a Dillian White trainer in the comments. Mike Polite Coffee in the comments.
Yo,
shit.
that was a
party.
party.
Shit. That fighter from Florida, Keem, in the comments. Look at
Damn, it brought out all the stars. Shit.
Yeah, Baldy. What up, Baldy?
Oh, man. Baldy in the building, too. Fuck, I missed the party.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, shit. Ohio Runs Boxing. Ethan Bands. Okay, champs. Oh, shit. Yeah,
Y'all
man.
making me
was
jealous.
Dope. That was dope. Nah, man. Shout out to Canna. We got somebody cutting clips now, man. We gonna put all them funky dope moments out.
Ness, did you not start Blog Talk?
Yeah, it's totally started. Why?
Oh, on my end, it's not even letting me see the calls. It's saying your next episode was scheduled to start.
Yeah, I think it's having issues, man. I swear, like the other day it was having issues, but it says I'm logged in. Let me try and call in.
Got it.
It says we got like 53 minutes left on the stream.
Yeah, okay, I see it now. Yeah, I refreshed and it went away.
Let me just double check that it's working. It's 425. What's the number? 569. Right? 569 5241. Press 1 time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget you could add Nesta Gibbs on Skype. Yeah, let's do it.
Payday, you want payday. I know that. Payday, you want.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Subscribe to youtube.com/theboxingvoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
I mean, did you say who was next for Charlo?
Yeah, Munguia's next for Charlo. Again, Triple G or what's it? Royota. Anybody else except Canelo? That's who's next. Canelo ain't next.
Canelo ain't next.
Canelo talk.
Yeah. No, you right. You right, champ. I wish it was next though, but okay. Let me ask you this way. I mean, who would you be more surprised? Okay, let's fast forward 6 months, and I said, yo. Let's say you were in a coma, you woke up, I said Charlo fought Canelo in his next fight. And then I said Charlo fought Andre in his next fight. Which one shocks you the most that he fought?
Of course that he fought Canelo. It was shocking.
Canelo? Okay.
Because, like I said, Canelo got business. It's still Caleb Plant business. It's still Benavidez business. Why Charlo
That's a good point.
Come on, man. Like, come on. Seriously, let him do what he's doing.
At least Canelo and Charlo have mentioned each other. You know what I mean? Like Andre and Charlo, like they don't even like. That's such a mess. But no, you're right though. You're right.
We got a super chat from where it's at. Let me actually use my search. I forgot about that. Bama. We got a super chat from Bo and Bama that says, "I got Mario over Chavez in a 3-round fight." Damn, Mario, you out here getting mad respect, yo.
Set it up.
You out here getting mad respect. You about to take TVB to the top, man. We gonna have to do you and Chavez, man, in a YouTube fight, man. Let's go.
And to make it spicy, I'm gonna convince his dad to corner me, a la De La Hoya Mayweather.
I like it.
Yo, another super chat coming in from Eric Cruz said, Mario, what did Show Kid get you for Father's Day? Yo, listen, my man's gold-plated tooth was all I needed.
I need.
It's in my shadow box with my medal.
All right. So, let's go out to Buffalo Falls, Davidian.
Yo, what's good? What's good, TVB?
What up?
Mario, King here. Ness, happy Father's Day to y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, brother.
I mean, truthfully, I watched the Showtime card. It was pretty cool. Leo was in there. He had a tough fight. I don't know. It was a good night of boxing. I mean, the fight I was really anticipated for was Jermall's fight. So I did watch that. I thought Jermall did good. He tried taking him out, but that dude I was surprised. Montiel took some shots. But, I don't know. I don't really know what to say. It was good fights though. But really, I only seen the Showtime card. I didn't really watch ESPN. Oh yeah, and I see Anderson. Like, I hope y'all not surprised by Chavez Jr. He do that all the time. Like, and don't forget, you shouldn't be nasty because Anderson was training. My man was training, and don't forget, he was one of the baddest motherfuckers in his sport. He was one of the best. Yeah, I'm just saying. Well, it's the Spider. He was nasty. Even before UFC, he was knocking niggas out with his pinky toe.
All spiders do, but
he was not Spider.
Crazy.
Spider put the beat down on Chavez Jr. He was 4 pounds overweight. Like the dude, like that's why
Chavez not Anderson. A fighter, man. He's a stunt double.
But other than that, yeah, I don't know. I can't wait to see my man Jermall get in there with somebody else. I don't know.
He was just in a war.
Well, no. I'm just saying I can't wait to see him fight again because I thought he did decent. He was winning.
He gotta heal up that hand. You ain't seen
That's true. The hand in his eye, yeah. True. Yeah. That was a good fight though. But yeah, that's my call. I bless y'all.
We got Show Kid with a super chat that says, same thing I got you for Mother's Day, Erica. Ness, can we get a female for Cruz to fight? I think she's a chubby weight.
Fuck, dog. That dude got zero respect for anybody. Yo, he crazy. I would listen, my man. Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
What? What you not gonna say, yo?
I want to see Show Kid get in there again. He's a good fighter. He can fight on my undercard anytime he wants.
Mad Bet 100. What up?
What up?
What's good?
Yo, Ness.
What up?
You gotta get your scorecard, man. You gotta get a scorecard. Dogboe won the fight 6 rounds to 4. Blue Nose came on late. Little too late. And then Charlo, he fought good, but he looked like a little nervous because he was in front of the home crowd, man. He went wilder when he got the guy hurt. He started going crazy like Deontay. And I thought he punched himself out the 2 times that he had the guy hurt. But I want to see Charlo versus Munguia or Triple G. Priority number 1. Anyway, great show. Happy Father's Day. That's my call.
All right, Mad Ben. Thank you. Cash App from Hawk in Maryland. Shout out to Hawk. He says Charlo should fight Andre. Canelo. No.
Yo, and a super chat from
time it is.
Word. Super chat from Eric Cruz says, Mario, did you put Show Kid tooth under his pillow? Nah, champ. I got that around my neck.
That was the first thing I told Mario. He had to do like Marcus McDonough did the Floyd's tooth, man. You can't knock a dude's tooth out and not keep that shit. We going to What Rep It?
What's up? Thank you for the help. I'm probably this week I'm looking into Jason Rosario versus Lubin. So later on in the week we'll see what's up with that one. We'll see what's up with that one depending on how the line goes, right? On the exhibition fights, they're not testing for nothing, right?
I mean, all that's contract, man.
I don't think they're tested. I think Anderson went in there with the juice, right? Same thing's gonna happen with De La Hoya. You better watch out playing games like that because Belfort's coming with all the juice. Even in the Mayweather fight, I think both of them were on something. So these exhibition fights, that's why they're gonna get excited in the future, especially if they have everybody just juiced to the gills, right? It's gonna be crazy. Oh yeah, and on Inoue and all these hipsters that are like loving them and all this type of stuff, right? You should make some shirts. You should make some shirts that say Inoue #1, just to take advantage of all these people who like want to wear some Inoue gear and all this garbage. That's my call.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Mario is like the king of the little weights, and he doesn't give us any cool phrases, you know.
But you know what though? You'd have to get Inoue's #1, and then on the back, like Chocolatito was. You know what I'm saying? Because that's, to me, sometimes when you put all your eggs in a basket with these little guys, you know. But I ain't hating.
Yeah, and I mean, look, he's doing his thing. Who was Dasmarinas though? I just know he was signed to Pacquiao. Does that mean he was good?
He was what I call a relatively unknown Filipino fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Sometimes they could be tough as hell, or sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
They could just be Filipino
They
fighters.
just be.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. We going out to Mr. Payne in Tennessee. What up, though?
Ah, that Inoue shirt is hard.
Yo, that Inoue. There you go.
James Payne is my name, partner, how about you? Standing on my property and I'm gonna see about you. If I come out on my porch, I see you chilling in your wheel. Boy, I hope you know somebody better be waiting on the bitch. James Payne, baby, see me pissing on the post. If we're playing basketball, you might see me in the post.
Good evening, gentlemen. How my audio sounding?
You good?
A1. Now, first I want to say, if any of you gentlemen on the panel are fortunate enough to be a father in this, I already told you this. Mario, King, anybody else that might be listening, happy Father's Day to you. If you, ain't no thing, man. Happy Father's Day to you, man. So definitely a privilege and an honor to be one of those. Then also, happy Juneteenth to anybody that acknowledges that and celebrates that, you know. Happy that as well. Yeah. Good night of boxing. I'm getting caught up on some of the highlights and everything like that. I enjoyed the festivities last night. I got to see the Inoue. I feel like he is a marketing machine, man. But I don't know. I need to see a different challenger in there with him. I'm still trying to get into the smaller guys. As far as Charlo's performance, man, he was ferocious and definitely was a dog fight at points. I'm glad he got the win. I would like to see Charlo against a Jacobs level opponent. If I can't see Jacobs, can we get a Darrell in there? Can we get I don't know, maybe is Truex done? Can we dig him up? I know he was 168. Maybe we could lose either.
He was supposed to get the Chavez fight. He said yesterday on Twitter he was supposed to get the Chavez fight. He signed, and then Chavez pulled out and fought Silva.
Really? Okay.
More money.
Well, I don't know, man. Shit, I really don't know what Charlo goes from here. Y'all see some good names, Andrade, but I don't know if they're gonna do that. But I would love to see that unification bout. Something of interest, since it's obvious he's not gonna get the Canelo. And man, I want to give a special shout out to a gentleman from the state of Michigan, man. His name is Big Ben Johnson. Big Ben Johnson gave me a Father's Day gift today. He gave me a bloody nose, my first sparring session today at Music City Boxing in Nashville, Tennessee, and I got a bloody nose from my trouble, and I enjoyed every fucking minute of it, man. It was invigorating, and I had a fucking blast, and it was awesome. It was awesome, man. So I want to spend a special Special shout out to Big Ben Johnson, man. He popped my cherry, gave me a bloody nose. I enjoyed it very thoroughly, man. And shout out to all of the Border Wars fighters and everybody in the boxing community. TBV, let's get it. That's my call.
He sound like a problem. He sound like a possible problem.
All right. Yo, has Chris Colbert new opponent been announced since Gamboa pulled out with a broken rib?
Nah, not yet. I don't think.
It's probably gonna be Jason Velez and shit.
Yo, you gotta stop giving these dudes all these ideas for free, dog.
I mean, listen.
Just hit me up at Munguia Cash App, all right? And I will get you the consultant fee for Ness. You know, I take my 10%, and then you get the ideas of a lifetime.
Yeah, man. Listen, they out there. Listen, you know, me and Mario working on some plans for the future that we haven't even announced. But when we announce, you know,
crazy plans. I think that we should talk about one of them as give people the tease for Wednesday. I think we should.
That's Untitled.
No, Untitled could do it, but for Wednesday Border Wars, I think we should talk about the Border Wars idea.
I'm actually definitely reveal one of the things on Untitled.
Okay, all right. Yeah, listen, I want to talk about it because for me, so much has been said about these ideas, and I'm just so excited for people to hear it, and I'm so excited to have people's feedback because some big things coming, like franchise changing things that could be, I mean, the next wave for real. But Untitled
we already made history, and this is what I'm saying about little goals, you know. So I mean, I can't say much without giving too much away, but
giving it away,
they won't be able to piece it together to Untitled. But like, we've already made history. We got a world champ. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap.
That's right.
You guys got that cat scratching in that bag, man.
It's a wrap, man. But yeah, man, let's keep these phone lines moving. We going out to King Born in Brooklyn. And yo, King Born here real quick. We got Mac and Cheese. Mac and Cheese with the super chat. What up, Ness? Just a little TBV love with the wink emoji. Shout out to Mac and Cheese, who's also trying to find us a venue in Las Vegas, at least for an appreciation night. Oh, man. This dude said he just broke his hand. Come on. You talking about you did that in the past or you just broke your hand, like, recently, bruh? Y'all tripping. Y'all gotta wrap your hands. Now he out again. We never gonna get the debut of Karma. I swear. With Karma, you gonna fight in Border Wars when he 45, man.
Yo, listen, I will say, because I was having hand problems too. You know the wraps that I got, the Mexican stretchy wraps. Yo, those are dope. Y'all, people that have hand issues or whatever, or like, yo, you should try them. They're because I would always get the, you know, the regular hand wraps that are just, you know, whatever they're made out of, right? But they're not really that stretchy, and just pat them. But it would still create friction. I was cutting my knuckles. Yo, these hand wraps, they got like a little stretch to them. You know what I'm saying? And they work wonders.
I ain't never liked them Everlast stress, but let me go to King Born. What up?
When you see old dirty bastard fall in a position like that, then you know that I'm getting ready to bust your.
King Born. King Born on Skype. What up, man? One time, two time, my Jimbe.
Yo.
What up?
You know, I thought the fights yesterday were great. But I still think that Jermall. I think he knocks out Andre. I don't think Andre. I think he is chinny, and yes, he is awkward. And the two fights that Maul has had most trouble with, Korobov and now Montiel. The southpaw stance does give him problems, but I think it was more of Montiel was going from southpaw to square to orthodox, back to square, then to it was just completely awkward. I could see that type of style giving everybody problems, and I also think that Montiel got knocked out by Jaime because he was draining down. Remember, that was at 154, and my man looked huge yesterday at 160. So I think that could also be the case. I don't want to see him on any other fight except for the Andre fight. They need to make that fight happen. I think Andre was talking about Canelo, bringing Canelo down to 160 or something like that. Canelo's not going back down to 160. He's going to stay at 168. And those guys could take care of what they got to take care of at 160 and make a lane for themselves. That being said, I did have Angelo Leo and Dogboe both losing, especially Angelo Leo. I thought that was a robbery. Dogboe, I could easily see Dogboe winning or Blue Nose. Didn't matter to me. But great night of fights, guys. Great show. Looking forward to Untitled. Take care.
All right. Looking like we got King Born. What up?
Listen, man, let's get to it, man. First of all, I was on Blog Talk, Ness, so I'm glad you didn't diss me. Yo, happy Father's Day to you, Ness. Happy Father's Day to you, Mario. I know you don't got no kids yet, but when you get them, it's a good look. You heard? Happy Father's Day to everybody in the boxing universe. Gotta give it up to my man Stainless. Stainless made sure I was good and fed on the road today in Memphis. You heard? Listen, man, this Charlo shit is getting real. You heard? Listen, man, the dude he fought was Wolverine. The guy had an adamantium skeleton. That was the Mexican Wolverine. You heard? And he was trying to knock him out. He made him do the Pee Wee Herman on the ropes and shit when he had him. The dude was tough. Now, here's the thing with Charlo. Charlo told Montiel after the fight, yo, go to Boo Boo, fight him, beat him, and I'll give you a rematch. So he trying to son him like, yo, go fight Boo Boo, handle my heavy work. And we know that's heavy for Charlo, man. Listen, give me Chris Eubank Jr., man. Give me the fake Roy Jones of boxing. Get that in him with Charlo. I need Triple G. Triple G, you listening? Don't diss us. Fight Charlo. I ain't worried about Canelo. He ain't ready for Canelo yet, y'all. Keeping it real, he ain't ready for Canelo, man. And yo, that dude he fought, and yo, Gabe Rosado, if he could come down to 160, I like that for Charlo. You know what I mean? Who he fought? Barbitowicz? Interbitowicz, whatever the hell his name is? Mr. Barbitowicz? I don't know who he is, but he knocked him out. Listen, Ness, man. I know you got a lot of big things on the title, but we gotta hype this shit with Tank, man. I'm worried for Tank. He fighting a dude that's almost a foot taller than him. The dude is massive, man. He diesel, dog. He like Popeye the Cellar Man, fam.
Get that super chat money right, man. Get that super chat gas money. I'm going to Atlanta to get them interviews.
Yo, I'm gonna send it to somebody and get you on, man. Hype it up. Let the media hype this, man. Hey, yo, I got Rosario, man. Rosario is gonna sleep Lubin. And yo, don't forget Lomachenko and Nakataki on Saturday, y'all. Everybody listening, put this shit. Saturday gonna be tremendous, y'all. I can't wait, man. Like I said, happy Father's Day to everybody. We gonna get this shit in a frenzy this week. Peace.
Shout out to King Bone.
I just want to remind everybody that, speak it, believe it, receive it. I've been putting out in the universe that I needed a little editing team, and we got two guys. Shout out to Canna And shout out to Mark in the Netherlands. That being said, we have plenty of interviews being dropped every day between the hours of 1 and 3. Some days it might go a little later, but we figured out our audience is normally on the YouTube channel at later times at night. So every day there'll be some releases. We got Gabe Rosado interviews, Blair the Flair Cobbs interviews, Leon Lawson, who's going to be fighting Nathan Gallimore this Sunday. We got Erickson Lubin, who's getting ready for Rosario. He fights Saturday on the undercard of Tank. We got Ivana Habazan, giving her thoughts on just about everybody. He's actually, working on some Michael Coffey interviews. We got Andre Durrell's. I mean, just keep your eye on the YouTube channel. Also, we're taking out the clips of the interviews that we do, so you don't have to go through the whole episode. So definitely click the notification bell. This way you get notified every time we upload a new interview and or schedule a live show. We're gonna go out to Detroit. What up?
Red belt, black belt, WO and green. I'm king. Undisputed GOAT, TBE. And you can catch the news first on TBV. Voice of the people, now let me speak. Scientists of the sweet, BOXING.
Yo, TBV, what's good?
What up?
Yo, first and foremost, man, happy Father's Day to every father on this line and any man that's listening. Whether you a dad or a stepdad, man, shout out to you. Also, it always hit close to home to me. Shout out to all the single mothers who do it anyway. If you listening to, or you with your man and you listening, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. Good weekend of fights, man. I didn't see the Munguia and the Rosario. The Gabe Rosado fight. Like I didn't even know that was going on. You know what I'm saying? Would you say it started that promotion 2 weeks ago?
Munguia fought Kamel Szeremeta, the fighter that Gennady fought, and Rosado was on the undercard facing Bektemir Melikuziev, and he knocked him out.
He's a prospect, right?
He was a fast track prospect.
Okay. Decorated amateur.
So wait, so Golden Boy on Triller now? I'm confused as fuck.
Oscar's next fight will be on Triller. Oscar De La Hoya is making a comeback. He's fighting some dude in MMA.
And there's been some speculation that the move is going to happen fully with his stable. But speculation.
And there need to be some speculation. Oscar need to leave that cocaine alone. But that's real talk, man. He doing too much and too little out there. But good weekend of fights, man. I like Inoue, man. I thought his fight with Donaire proved everything it needed to prove to me. Donaire's a tough cat, man. Guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer, man. I mean, the dude done regained his title several times. You know what I'm saying? So, also the Charlo fight, man. I said it earlier. I don't know what's up with the Shields camp, man, but maybe it's time for Charlo to move around. You know what I'm saying? He didn't use his jab much, man. Like, dude was too awkward and all of that for him to not have his jab out there to set up more shots, man. At one point, I saw him winging uppercuts, bro. And I know he does that, but he was obviously gassed, man. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. You know,
how was that Ronnie fought though? Like the jab.
I'm not saying because Ronnie was doing anything wrong, but sometimes the coach and the fighter, they lose that connection, that bond, or you know what I'm saying, what keeps him in your corner. So maybe it's time for him to move around or seek somebody new to get him more invigorated.
Maybe he need to listen to his coach, man. Maybe he need to
I agree with you on that. I agree with you because Shields wasn't doing nothing wrong. He wasn't saying nothing wrong.
Ronnie the one gave him that beautiful jab he got.
For sure, man. But like I say, Inoue a monster though, bro. Who else? I did like that Dogboe fight too, man. Dogboe done improved a lot, man. Shout out to Barry Hunter and him for getting that together. But I got to get back to work, fellas. As I always say, please make sure you push the thumbs up. Share this and every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. This is TBV for life. And if you ain't on Patreon, it's because you're stupid. Shout out to El Camino. Peace.
Yeah, don't be stupid.
Shout out to Stainless.
Shout out to Stainless.
Shout out to Stainless.
Real quick, just want to remind everybody that we will be in Atlanta July 31st. Second time commentating for the BPE. This time, Latin Promotions has brought on the Boxing Voice. And Latin Promotions is in associations with Platinum Hands and BPE, the network, Big Time Promotions, and RX Water. Shout out to RX Water.
Shout out to RX Water.
Hopefully they're in the building and we can
definitely
re-up our sponsorship. We need some water for our Border Wars fighters. Can we get some Border Wars fighters water love?
Yo,
we'll talk about that.
You know we need 31st. That water love. Listen, and just a heads up, that date for the BP is July 31st. It is going down in Decatur, Georgia. Home of some of the very best of this community. And I hope everybody can go out there. You know, we'll be there obviously, but there's going to be some good fights.
With Mac Truck, come through. Word. We'll get you autographs with Mac Truck. Bring your boxing gloves or your shirts.
Definitely.
You want to get a picture with Aida Biggs? Yeah, I know you want a picture with Aida Biggs.
I know you want
a
picture.
Go ahead, come through. Give me $5. I'll make sure you cut the line. You want a picture and autographs from Christian Otero? You know, El Bori Cubano. Come through because he's fighting July 31st.
He's fighting July 31st. Card.
We got my man Sean
Torius Martin.
Yes, Sean Torius.
Sean Torius.
Yo,
he is
Mario on point. Look at him. Mike Hughes is on the card. Marco Suarez is on the card. Jeter. Maybe it's Jeter. How does Derek Jeter say his name? Is it two T's?
It's one. It's Jeter.
This one might be Jeter then. This one.
You said Christian Bermudez?
Christian Bermudez? I didn't say Christian Bermudez.
No, you didn't. Oh, Christian Bermudez also on the card. Brooklyn native, 25 years old, 3-0 with 3 KOs. Yeah, he is fought
Big Zeus. Don't forget Big Zeus, the 7-foot heavyweight alleged son of Joe Frazier.
Yo, don't tell anybody.
Big Zeus Frazier.
It's on the down low.
Big Zeus.
Yo, a lot of undefeated fighters on this card, man. It's gonna be quite a time, and it's gonna take place, as we said, in Decatur, Georgia, but also the BPE network. And come kick it with us, man. We gonna be out there.
If you're watching this on YouTube, this is the promoter of Latin's Promotions. This is her, Jenny Bad. So yeah, Jenny definitely got her own promotion. She's doing her thing. Here goes our interview with her right here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jenny. You can catch that interview and others with Jenny Badillo. That's what she's short. Bad is short for Badillo. You can catch that on the YouTube channel. And she's gonna be on BPE with her Latin's promotion card. So let me just show you some of the fighters that's gonna be on here. Big Zeus obviously gonna be on the card. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna take it from the bottom to the top. And next we got Elijah is gonna be on the card. Elijah Leon. I don't know who's this. But we will meet him. All these guys, we're probably going to interview them all. You know, everybody knows Christian, you know, Mike Hughes. I feel like I've heard of Dylan Parsley. Let me see. Maybe. But we all know this is not a great picture of Aida, but we're going to use it.
Yeah, he's 6'2", from Brooklyn, New York, nicknamed the Sniper, fights out of the Orthodox style, and he is 12-1 with 4 KOs. However, he has not fought since 2015. He has been on what will amount to a 6-year layoff. But he's coming back.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see some of the guys we first met on the card.
Me too.
You know? Like Sean Torius, you know, he was very flamboyant, came in with the mink for the weigh-in.
Yes.
Did his thing
Christian
in the
Otero
actual
as well.
fight. Otero made a statement, you know.
They were both dressed flashy too. They had the crowd. They were two fighters that had the biggest reactions of the night.
Yeah.
On a night that had quite a few reactions, by the way.
So definitely, man, if you're in Atlanta, come on through. You know, get some tickets. Meet us at this, fight card. Latins Promotions is going to be live on BPE. And, yeah, man, last one was lit, man. I expect this one to be lit. I know Lefty Guns is going to be on this card, too. Let me pull up his so we can make sure. Lefty. I'm trying to get an interview schedule. I think we're going to have Lefty Tuesday. He's also on this card. July 31st is on for Lefty. He's 12-0 with 8 KOs. And, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's got like an ABF title or something like that. So Lefty's on this. A lot of undefeated fighters on this card, man. And, you know, these are tomorrow's stars, man. Not everybody gets the top-ranked road and you know, has the big promoter putting them on TV. Some guys got to actually sell tickets to make it to TV. We got Karma Surge that says, what up, fellas? I could be 45 years old. I could be a 45-year-old man, and that bum Keem still wouldn't fight me. He's scared little man. Damn, Keem.
Damn.
I wonder if Keem is going
to
give him the fight, or is he going to be like Charlo and like, nah, I ain't fucking with him. You know the way Charlo do Andre? Like,
it's like, you soured me to the idea, now I don't want it at all.
Don't get me wrong. There's plenty of good fights for Keem, right? There's plenty of good fights. I don't know which ones. I guess we'll talk about it Wednesday. Put that suggestion in the post for Wednesday's Border Wars. All right, so we went to everybody, I think, right? We got to go to Hawk in Maryland. Did we go to Hawk?
Hawk in Maryland. I don't remember going to Hawk. Did you read Ken Stone's super chat, by the way?
Ken Stone? No,
about
sir.
Ali or somebody being Munguia's biggest win, Jaime's biggest win?
Nah.
Okay, Ken Stone with a super chat said, Jaime's best win is Liam or Ali. Gabe is a step down. I don't agree with that. Here's the thing. You could make that argument from like a technical standpoint, I guess, and there's some debate there. But Gabe is like a name and a face that neither Liam or Ali represents, specifically in America. So, yeah, I don't think it's a step down fight for him.
I agree, Mario.
Word. Yeah, man, I'm excited for this card, man. I hate to go back to that, but look, this is Lefty's outfit. You know what I'm saying? He reminds me of Danny. Check out, you know, he got the cow. I showed y'all this before, but then he got the mask. Is that like the Saw movie, or is this the It movie mask? But yeah, man, and he's got one of the biggest followings of all the people on the card, so I'm expecting him to bring out the people as well. Yeah, he's from the New York City area. And yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be doing our second commentating gig with them and getting to meet all this exciting new talent. Remember, Christian Otero is trained by Mustafa Mickens. So that's going to be dope. We got Clemente in Phoenix. What up?
What up, guys? How's it going?
Oh, man, can't call it.
Be good, champ.
Peace.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Great night of boxing yesterday. Shout out to Gabe. And shout out to you, Ness. I didn't believe in you. And I missed out, man. I missed out on a lot of money.
It's all good, man. We all make mistakes.
But, yeah. But, I mean, did you guys see that? I don't know if you guys saw that Vargas cut. Did you see that, Mario?
The one, wait, the cut?
Yeah, the cut in the 10th round against Pitbull Cruz and Francisco Vargas, that really bad
I'm
cut.
Sorry. Yes. For some reason, I don't know why I was thinking that you were talking about Vargas' son, because I saw all his shit on IG.
Oh yeah, he fought too, man. Shout out to him. That kid's gonna be a good fighter. He looked good. He looks like his dad.
Wow, that's what's up. I can't wait to go back and watch that.
But yeah, I was just shocked about that. That the doctor let that fight keep going. I know there was 30 seconds, but man, that was a horrible cut on Vargas.
When doesn't Vargas bleed?
Yeah, that's true. Let's see here. Charlo, man. I mean, he did what he had to do. I was hoping he'd get the knockout. Obviously, here's the thing about him. He keeps calling out Canelo, but he keeps telling him he has to come down. Like, you're not the superstar. Canelo is. He's not going to go down for you. And that's the only issue I have with Charlo. Other than that, I mean, he's a good fighter. I'd love to see him against Golovkin. I'd love to see him get a decent, a decent win with somebody. Other than that, let's see. I saw the All Access. Those fights I'm excited for that now. I'm really excited for that with Gervonta Davis. And I'm excited about Casimero and Casimero-Donaire. That's going to be a fun fight, man.
Very.
But that's my call.
Who you got in that fight, real quick?
I haven't seen enough of Casimero, so I'm leaning towards Donaire right now.
Understandable.
All right, champ.
But yeah,
thanks for calling in.
Thanks for
Mario,
the call, champ.
That's not.
Was there somebody jumped on?
Yeah,
the 336.
Yeah,
got you.
Real quick, if you want to ask Jermaine Franklin, heavyweight Jermaine Franklin, a question, you can do so by joining our Patreon page and dropping him a question. I think we're having him on the show tomorrow. Let me confirm with the co-producer,
nice.
But I'm pretty sure we're having Franklin on tomorrow morning, and we got a few guests on Tuesday. We got actually 2 guests on Tuesday. Let me see here.
You said who's tomorrow? Oh, you haven't confirmed. I'm sorry.
So Brandon reminded me that I might be in Atlanta on Wednesday. So there goes.
Oh shit.
There goes the whole Border Wars. But yeah, I can do it from over there. I think it'll be obviously Wi-Fi.
That laptop.
Yeah. So tomorrow we got Jermaine Franklin, heavyweight Jermaine Franklin, on at 9:30 a.m. So if you want to ask him a question, go ahead and click the link in the live chat and ask him a question, or go to patreon.com/The Boxing Voice and look for the Jermaine Franklin post. Also, what else we got? We got Lefty.
Tuesday, we had a couple.
We got Lefty, who I was telling you about. He'll be on Tuesday, and we'll also have Xavier Miller, Dillian White's trainer, has a new female fighter that we're gonna have on the show on Tuesday. So yeah, man, we got a couple of interviews scheduled for you. Plus, if all goes well, I should be going to Atlanta, and we can ask Tank and Barrios and everybody on the undercard some questions.
Everybody.
And then we'll be in Atlanta also July 31st. So yeah, I think we got Rod in North Carolina. Talk to us.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What up, brother?
What up?
Nothing much. Good fights last night, but of course the Charlo fight was the one that was the most interesting. I thought his jab actually kept him in the fight. I think his jab was actually pretty good to me. I just think if Montiel would have went to the body a little bit more, because from the
talking to the receiver, champ. Talking to the receiver. We're losing you.
Okay, from the 8th round to the 12th round. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, you sound good.
Yeah, from the 8th round to the 12th round, I thought Montiel was, if he would have went to the body more, he would have been way more successful, because I thought Charlo got a little gassed, and I thought the left hook to the body hurt him every time. Every time he hit him to the body, the uppercut was there. And, you know, we're talking about these super fights Charlo approaching, and these guys that we calling out, Triple G's, the Canelos, the Benavidez, the Andre, these guys can left hook to the body very, very well.
Yeah.
And they're going to be real interesting.
Canelo.
Yes, sir. He can, you know, I don't know if y'all watched that fight closer, but I thought he was very vulnerable to the left hook to the body. Anytime Montiel threw it,
I said it when we was talking. I said he doubled it on him a few times. When he doubled it from downstairs to upstairs, he had more success.
And he didn't look as strong on the inside, you know, typically. You know, if you're fighting, if you can fight him on the inside, it look like he might have to work on the inside game a little bit. So I thought his jab kept him in the fight, to me. You know, it's a good thing he did have a good jab, and he was using it. But I thought it really, really helped him out. That's my call.
Well, all right, brother. Thank you for calling in. And if you're on Blog Talk, don't forget to hit the numero uno so we can go to you. You got to hit that number 1. We're going out to LV Slugger on Skype. What up?
TBV, what up? What up?
What's happening?
What up, man? Good little weekend of fights, man. Nice little weekend. Let me start off with the bullshit, man. I kind of figured Chavez Jr. was going to take an L, man, leading up to the fight. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop expecting stuff from him. I know he was the boxer and Silva coming from UFC, but yeah, man, that's just what it is with Chavez Jr., man. He ain't committed. But I feel like feed him the Belonga, man. Go and feed Chavez Jr. the Belonga or David Morrell. That's a common opponent with Canelo, so. You know, we always talking about Belonga, Canelo one day, so I think Chavez Jr. Put him in there with Belonga, see how he do, see how long he lasts till he quit. You know what I'm saying? With Gabe Rosado doing what he did this weekend, I'm not sure. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him with Rosado, but you know what I'm saying? I think not Rosado, but Belonga. But I think he might need a couple more fights, 1 or 2, till he get in there with a Rosado, man. Rosado looked good this weekend. He timed it real good, and he was able to knock Buddy out, man. But yeah, he definitely did his thing this weekend. Out the knockout the weekend. Inoue growing on me. You know what I'm saying? I know they ain't the opponent, you know, but man, he got that pop, man. That man knocking dudes out, he getting dudes up out of there. So, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind seeing the Donaire rematch since he got that belt. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind seeing that again. And the fight of the weekend to me, man, that Charlo Montiel, man, it was a very entertaining fight. You know, they gave us a show. You know, Montiel showed that true Mexican warrior came to fight, was not trying to go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? He gave Jermall a good fight, man. So, in his hometown, so I'm pretty sure they enjoyed the fight, even though he dominated. You know what I'm saying? I did think he was going to probably get the stoppage, especially knowing that he lost to a Munguia already. But, yeah, it was very entertaining, man. I wouldn't mind seeing Montiel back in there with somebody. But with Charlo, man, I wouldn't mind. But with Triple G and Marauder, since they keep saying that fight supposed to go down, go ahead and hop on that Andrade, man. I feel like a Charlo Andrade, they can build their own, like they can just build their own lane together, man. Just get in there. I could probably see the first fight being a draw, or it could be a second fight, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, Charlo Andrade, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I feel like they can do their own thing. And eventually, you know what I'm saying, get the Triple G Marauder winner. You know what I'm saying? The middleweight division is well known in boxing. And I feel like them top names, them champions, man, they gotta get that division back jumping, man. But definitely a good weekend of boxing, and I can't wait for this Tank Barrios undercard look good. I definitely would be in the building, man. Can't wait. But yeah, man, y'all keep doing your thing. Good show.
All right.
Man, everybody going with Donaire already. Like, I don't want to be like a hipster douche and be like, oh, Casimero, because that's a good fight. It's a clean fight. But, man, nobody's even said Casimero winning that fight. Like, my boy being slept on.
People feeling that Donaire resurgence, man.
You're right. You're right.
And, you know,
rightfully
real quick, I just want to throw in there. I'm thinking about this whole weekend, and I'm thinking about Chavez Jr. Y'all got to go back and listen to it, but I got it on my page. I had a bar in there. I said, you don't want it with this. Whose son is this? You look like a child that laced on his father's gloves. Let's see if Idris does as good as Chavez Jr. does. And I just think of how poetic my lines are, man. Like, I just had to throw that in there,
that's
man.
dope, dog. That's fire. Shit.
But think of the relevancy, though.
Yeah, word.
You know what I'm saying? It's just... But yeah, man.
Oh, that's real shit. Real bars. Yo,
we got my Jinbe Boomerang.
Hey, Ness.
What up?
Quick question. What was the reason that Rigo had to be pulled from the fight with Casimero?
I don't know. You gotta ask Mario.
I mean, Brandon was saying in the chat that they're gonna freeze out. They're gonna freeze out anyway, and just make Rigo fight the winner of Donaire Casimero.
I mean, it's definitely something that can happen. At those divisions, it doesn't work the same way like at welterweight, where it's like, oh, Earl Spence, you're saying you're the best, but there's a guy Crawford over here. Oh, Crawford, you're pound for pound. Oh, well, there's a guy named Earl Spence. It's not like that because they don't have the same traction. So I could theoretically see them trying to do that, but to me, they're going the opposite direction. You wanted to build Casimero-Rigondeaux to fight the now perceived resurged Donaire. On the other side, you have Casimero-Donaire fight to get to Rigondeaux. I mean, I guess you can sell the fact that Donaire-Rigondeaux is a rematch. Yeah, I guess it could work. Never mind.
Yeah, and one more thing. So everybody is talking about Boo Boo. That it wasn't that he has a better chance of beating Charlo, but Charlo just whitewashed this guy. 12 rounds, nothing. Boo Boo went life and death in his last fight. There's no way. I don't know. I just don't see any way that Boo Boo beats Charlo. I just don't. I mean, but yeah, great show, guys.
Yeah, and by the way, Coppinger did report actually that Rigondeaux, because I don't know what exactly the reason is, other than they came to Rigondeaux and said, step aside, let Casimero and Donaire fight in a unified, for the unification, and then fight the winner. So that is what they've, come to him with as an idea. But again, I think all this is based off the idea that they didn't think Donaire was going to win that fight. And the fact that he won it and gained the popularity of so many fans out there that believe in him again, they're just trying to take advantage of that, and that's what you got to do. You got to strike while the iron is hot. The best thing about boxing compared to, NFL and NBA is that they have schedules. You have to wait for a certain game, and then does it mean the same after all those other games? But with boxing, you can strike while the iron is hot, and that's what PBC is doing. They're striking while the iron is hot, and definitely applaud them.
They better not throw Rigo in the mix. That wouldn't be reasonable. Rigo hasn't created enough momentum. Although, the skill matchup and all of that, it makes sense for boxing fans. But in terms of the excitement and that steals Donaire's momentum. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's reasonable. Marketing wise, he shouldn't want to give that up. I'd be looking at like a fight with Rigo when I'm done. If that's his position and he can make those other fights.
Yes. Well said. Great point. You're absolutely right. And for him to beat Casimero at that point with that momentum, what does Donaire represent for him? But yeah.
I just don't get why they took Nonito. I mean,
Rigondeaux.
Yeah, why Rigo was taken out.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is all. Up, James. What's up, Benitez? How are you?
Yo, Ness, you hear me?
I hear you.
Hey, man, happy Father's Day to all you guys, man.
Appreciate
much appreciated for taking time out of y'all day to give a show like this on this special day. So we appreciate that. Also, Mario, I know I gave you a lot of shit before the show kid fight. So I would just like to say to you now, hey, salute, congratulations, you did your thing, man. I'm proud of you that you bounced back like that.
Thanks, champ. Appreciate it, man.
No problem. Also, I would like to say, Mario, man, when you was doing your midget minute or whatever, man, when you answered my question about the Stephen Fulton and the Inoue fight, man, talking about those low weight class fighters, man, that's needed, man. Because I was writing down a lot of fighters, man, that I'm gonna take some time just to go ahead and try to check out during the week, man. So I think we need more of that kind of insight, man.
For sure.
Mario did one episode of that.
He needs to get back on point with that, man. He needs to get back on point with that, man. Also, man, so y'all gonna be in Decatur next month, man. So okay, yeah, I'll definitely be in the city then. So
oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, I'll definitely, yeah, man. I'm right down the road from Glenwood, man. So I'll definitely reach out to y'all and see what y'all doing for the nightlife or whatever. Let me know if y'all trying to be on the east side or where.
All right.
That's what's up.
I mean, we don't know what's the east or the west, but
well, Decatur's the east. Everything, everything past Moreland to downtown Atlanta, that's considered like the west side.
All right.
So yeah, we got you. But other than that, man, I think the only reason why I'm pissed off at Charlo, man, he should have gave a better performance, man, being a -3,000, man, on the betting lines, man. He was supposed to whitewash dude, man.
I mean,
but
the dude didn't win a round, right? Did you give the dude a round?
They gave him 2.
I mean, did you?
Nah, man. I ain't giving no round, man. But even still, though, man, it shouldn't have been that tough a performance, though. Broke hand, whatever, man. We see what Devin Haney did with a broke hand. He got down 12-0 the motherfucker convincingly.
Hey, man, I mean, that dude wasn't Gamboa either in terms of like the age and just where he's at.
But Gamboa was still considered a better fighter than Montiel.
I mean, accomplishments, but where's he at?
And you know what? I give you that, Ness. Other than that, man, hey, man, just keep on speaking these fights to existence, man. Because all the boxing community is listening. And man, thank y'all for the great content, man. Y'all have a beautiful weekend, man.
You too, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for the kind words. That
Appreciate
is
you, Benitez.
all the callers. So that's GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to catch us tomorrow morning for another episode. And remember to head on over to Patreon for you can drop questions for Matthew, Lefty Guns, Gonzalez, Jermaine, Franklin in the heavyweight division. Obviously, you can put in your topic or suggestion for Border Wars matchups or topics for Wednesday. And tomorrow is Untitled. You can go ahead and drop your topic or suggestion for Untitled. Yeah, and that's GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Catch us tomorrow, guys.
Yo, at Mario Munguia on Twitter, at Mario Munguia on Instagram. Peace.
King Amin of Essex on Instagram, King Amin of Essex on YouTube. Peace.